This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska. This broadcast is presented by Currency. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for machinery, ag equipment, and more. Visit GoCurrency.com. Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose. Find out more at LibertyFirstCU.com. Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to ThinkMidway.com.
At Central Oklahoma last week. Same story for Northeastern. They didn't get a win last week, although their game was not close. Well, Coach, there's a new coach in town. It's Ryan Held, a familiar name to many in Nebraska, but new here to the Lopers, assembled an entirely new staff. No holdovers from the Josh Lynn era. What are your impressions of how he started things off?
Well, I think he's done a great job. I was fortunate enough to visit with him quite a bit in the spring, and actually I coached against him a couple times way back when, but I can tell you he's done a great job. He's trying to install a new offense, which is a lot different from what Coach Lynn ran. But I know the players around him and the players that he brought in are very excited about the direction the program's going.
We're going to see a lot of black uniforms on the sideline today. More than 100 players are suited up for this. The full roster, including the inactives, is about 130. Lots of transfers, lots of freshmen, lots of new flavor. How do you work that in as a coaching staff with a culture that was already in place and successful, and work in those new guys?
Well, the big thing is you've got to get the returning players to buy into what you're all about. And from all indications that I've had, I think that's happening right now, Michael. I think they've done a good job. Ryan did a good job in the spring, and his coaching staff of explaining exactly what he was all about and the culture that he was trying to instill, and I think the players bought in.
Tough one, though, to start things out. A few key plays here and there, and the Lopers fell by 3 in Edmond, Oklahoma last week. What'd you take away from watching the loss against UCO?
Well, I watched the film this week, and the thing I would tell you is, the first game of the year, new system, new players, new coaches. They struggled a little bit in the first half, but I will tell you the coaching staff did a great job of making adjustments in the second half. The Lopers came out defensively, really shut out UCO. And had they not had a pick six, I think that was kind of the difference in the game. Kearney made a couple of mental errors late in the game when they had chances to get off the field and get the ball back and maybe have a chance to win the game. But I think there was a lot to build on in that game right there.
The band is here. The players are getting ready to run onto the field. We have key players coming up, and then we have football, the home opener for the Nebraska Kearney Lopers on News Channel Nebraska.
It's your next step to advance your knowledge, your earning potential, and your career. Where professors invest in you and your success with competitive edge skills building and immersive learning opportunities. Your graduate degree awaits at Northeastern State University.
Ashley's Labor Day sale is your last chance to save big on summer's top styles. Visit your local store to shop Labor Day hot buys, all just $5.98 each while supplies last. Shop featured finds starting at only $17 per month or $9.99.99. And with summer coming to a close, you can save up to 50% on outdoor furniture. Plus, we offer special financing options for every budget. Visit your local Ashley stores in Kearney, Grand Island, and North Platte for the best Labor Day furniture deals, only at Ashley.
Diving into the key players, two teams looking for that first win of the season for Northeastern State. They didn't get it last week, and they weren't too close. 56-0, the final score. Really struggled throwing the football, 3 interceptions. So a key today, they might want to establish the run, and Blake May is the top running back for Northeastern.
Well, I think, if I was putting myself in Coach Eckert's shoes, part of that, too, is that you want to keep UNK's offense off the field. T.J. Davis, of course, 2-time Offensive Player of the Year in the conference. He's doing a little more throwing than running this year, but he's still T.J. Davis. And there's a great bevy of wide receivers around him. So I would agree with you. They're going to try to run the ball, and I think Blake May is probably the guy they're going to hand it to.
On the Nebraska Kearney side, you could pick TJ Davis every game, so we don't do that. Trey O'Gwynn is the safety, and interesting because he's taking over that mantle from Darius Swanson, who was a multiple-time All-American, now plays at Tulane in his final season for college. But Trey O'Gwynn, he's the guy, and he led the team in tackles last week.
Trey's a great player. He was a strong safety last year, and they moved him. Of course, it was a different scheme, but they moved him back to that free safety position, and from what I saw on film, he did a great job. He's got to be the quarterback, if you will, back there, and he's a good leader. He knows what he's doing, and I think he'll show up tonight for sure.
And the Riverhawks threw 3 picks last week, so no doubt that O'Gwynn will be hunting one of those today. We have your full starting lineups heading towards kickoff. You're watching UNK against Northeastern State on News Channel Nebraska.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Order your dream vehicle today with no money down. If you don't love it when it arrives, leave it with absolutely no obligation. We are professional grade at Central Nebraska's premier GM dealer, Midway Chevrolet Buick GMC in Kearney, or thinkmidway.com/GM.
A new year, a fresh start, a resolution to grow more, gain more, give more. The process is the same: plant, grow, harvest. But the way you do it is always evolving. And so are we, Aurora Cooperative. Grow, gain, give. Aurora and you.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back in the future.
We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes, the wedding bands. We'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
What does farming mean to you? For most, it's hard work, dedication, and livelihood. Unfortunately, that also comes with risk. At Nebraska Crop Insurance in Beatrice, they know the non-stop dedication involved to keep your family protected from that risk and ensure their livelihood. Not only do they know everything about the coverage you need, they're also farmers themselves. So protect what means the most to you with the agent who knows what it means to be a farmer. Nebraska Crop Insurance, 615 Dorsey Street in Beatrice.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com and by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports for more highlights, interviews, rankings, and our full schedule.
From the moment something didn't feel quite right, to that ambulance arriving at your door, from the immediate diagnosis, to the surgery that followed, to the long list of lifestyle changes and that family gathering that everyone always talked about, but for whatever reason kept getting postponed, to the moment you sat back and realized how grateful you are for everything you have. We've been here for you, just around the corner. Columbus Community Hospital.
We're back here in Kearney. Can you hear us? Michael Shively with you, Scott Hoffman. We got our microphones on, and we're ready for some action here on News Channel Nebraska. It's nearing kickoff time for the opener for Ryan Held, the first-year head coach for Nebraska Kearney. The Lopers getting ready to take the field. We're taking a look at the school spotlight, brought to you by Currency. Does your business need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit gocurrency.com. There's your look at UNK. Enrollment just a hair over 6,000. About 35K here in Buffalo County and Kearney. And the Lopers in their first home game. Pretty good crowd developing. The student section is here today. The band put on a good show already. And the tailgate scene, let me tell you, I was a little envious of the folks out there getting their tailgate meal on.
For sure, Michael. It looked like a good time out there.
Northeastern Oklahoma. They hail from Tahlequah in Northeast Oklahoma. We'll dive into starters after your school spotlight there, brought to you by Currency. Starters for the Nebraska Kearney side. There's a look at the offense. TJ Davis is quarterback, and he's been here for most of my lifetime, I think, by now. Sixth year for TJ Davis in Kearney. He loves the city, and that's been a huge benefit because he's stuck around. And again, he's on the watch list for the Harlan Hill Trophy.
You know, he's just had an unbelievable career here. He struggled a little bit starting, coming out of high school. I mean, and when Coach Lynn made the change to TJ at quarterback, it really made a difference in terms of their win-loss percentage and production on the field. And he's a super senior now and super guy. So hopefully he can keep that going tonight.
And that offensive line you see there, not the actual starting lineup for the offensive line, because this is as makeshift as it comes. Several guys out, actually 7 offensive linemen not available today. So guys are playing out of position. Guys that used to be on defense are playing on the line. It's certainly a unit that looks different than what we expect.
Yeah.
So that was the offense for UNK. Defense is led by defensive coordinator Tim Schaffner, and here's a look at that unit. The 4 defensive linemen, you may recognize one name on there, Tell Spees, a veteran. He's a senior out of Mullen, and he's an all-conference caliber player.
He's a great player. He's been around a little bit too, and he's a transfer from the University of South Dakota and has really made a difference on the defensive line, and it's great to see him back.
Also on that defense, Treo Gwynn, our key player, and some high-profile linebackers. We'll pause for the national anthem and be back with kickoff on News Channel Nebraska.
Feel confident about the used vehicle you're buying with Midway Certified Pre-Owned. Our lowest hassle-free prices every day on a great selection of Midway Certified Pre-Owned Fords, Hondas, Toyotas, and more. Available now at your Midway Auto dealership locations in Kearney or online at thinkmidway.com.
Women have a 1 in 8 chance for developing breast cancer. Early detection makes a difference. Beatrice Community Hospital's Imaging Center can help with the latest technology, from screening with 3D mammography, breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and breast biopsy. All services conveniently located in the BCH's Imaging Center. Schedule your screening today. Incredible care, incredibly close.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil, your first and last stop to and from the game. By USafe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
UNK is a place where quality education meets hands-on learning, and going the extra mile gets rewarded. It's a place where you can put yourself out there, reach your goals, and set new ones you never thought possible. Be yourself, but develop the best version of you. Let us show you what you're made of. Be blue, be gold, be bold. Apply now to the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Learn more at unk.edu.
My dad's addiction and death from overdosing on opioids has taught me it's likely that everybody knows somebody who is struggling with this very problem. Losing my mentor, my best friend, he took one pill too many that ultimately killed him.
At Cope Stadium, Michael Shifley, Scott Hoffman with you. And we're ready for some college football. Good crowd on hand. A little warm this evening. We might experience some sprinkles. We're hoping that the severe weather stays to the southwest of here. Right now, there is a pretty good storm system heading towards the McCook area, but again, hopefully to our southwest. But we could experience some sprinkles, definitely some high humidity this evening. But for the players, they're happy to be home, happy to be on the field, regardless of whatever the weather situation may be.
Well, depth shouldn't be a problem for the most part in terms of the numbers of bodies that the UNK Lopers suited up. They have 130 players suited up tonight, so if they need to play some guys through the humidity, they should have the guys to do it.
No doubt, no doubt. So here's the situation. We have Ryan Held in his first year as head coach for Nebraska Kearney. He has his new coordinators, and that includes Tim Schaffner on defense. Colby Ellis is the offensive coordinator. Underneath that, the assistant coaches, they're all fresh faces as well. One that you may recognize as a Loper fan is Jake Mandelko. He's a UNK alum, a Lexington native, and now he's back in his home region.
Yeah, Jake was a great free safety for the Lopers back about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and did a great job. Went off G8 at UNL for the Huskers, and then bounced around a little bit, and I know he's real happy to be back here on the Loper staff.
And he is the special teams coordinator. He sends his unit out to kick things off from the 35 to open up this game. Glad you could be with us this evening. We will be broadcasting every UNK football home game this season. Just 5 of them this year, unless there's a playoff scenario, whispering. But we do hope that you join us for all of those.
My wife says I'm
ready for kick now. The Lopers will boot away to the Riverhawks. Kyle Failing's kick, playable from about the 7. And not much room to go there. Good kickoff coverage for Mandelko's unit. And here comes Tim Schaffner's defense. It goes by the mantra, chaos tempo. If you want to get a hold of Coach, you dial 1-800-I-GO-FAST. That's been his motto for decades. A longtime Butler Community College defensive coordinator and head coach, and his unit was really good in the second half last week.
Tim is he's a character, that's for sure, but he does a good job, and he made some great adjustments last week against UCL.
And the first play of the game, a play-action pass caught out of the backfield and a solid gain on first down for Northeastern State. The completion going to Dean Odom. He's a 6'2", 225-pound tight end.
Northeast made a change from their starting quarterback last week, Elric, to Ben Ward this week. And as we mentioned in pregame, Elric threw some interceptions. So hopefully they're trying to make some changes here.
2nd down and 2. And an empty set for the Riverhawks. Throwing to the motion wide receiver, and that's an incomplete pass according to the referee on the near side. Trying to get that to Lauren Kirk, the sophomore running back, and Ward's pass incomplete.
Well, so far it's a little bit different than what we anticipated, Michael. We thought they'd come out and try to establish the run, and 2 straight passes.
Ben Ward, the quarterback, did play a decent amount last season, one of 3 quarterbacks who really shared time for the Riverhawks, threw for 650 yards and 7 touchdowns in 2022. And in the pistol for 3rd down and 2. Hands off, and not much space, will be right near the marker, and he's short. Coming up, the Loper defense gets a stop and forces 4th and short.
Great job by the Loper defense there. Initially looked like it was going to pop, and the UNK defender really came up and made a good play.
Zane Schwong is the return man out of Waverly, Nebraska. He'll hover around the 30-yard line. The punter is Tyler Crawford for Northeastern. Gets off a high spiraling kick, and Schwong from the 30 surveyed the right, now finds a hole up the middle and gets the football near midfield to the 46. Good field position for the Loper offense and the perfect start for UNK. The defense forces a 3 and out, and just 1 minute and 35 seconds into the game, you have the football in good position for TJ Davis and the offense.
That was a great job by Zane Schwong of catching that thing on the run and getting some good positive yardage.
Zane Schwong was one of the featured running backs to help paint the picture. There were 4 running backs that got major time last season. Schwong is the only one back, and he is not on the 2 deep or the 3 deep. So total change, at least at that skill position. On play action, Davis goes deep. It's caught. Nearing the red zone. Hauled in by Sev Foster, the senior Lincoln native, with the big play.
Excellent play call by Coach Held and the offense there. Way to get the start.
To the 19-yard line. A 35-yard completion on the first play for the offense for the Lopers. They hustle right to the line of scrimmage there. Don't snap it and look back to get that new call. Davis keeps on the read option, tries to find the outside. Gets some good blocking from his receivers and waltzes into the end zone. 2 plays and a touchdown for UNK.
That's a great start for the UNK Lopers.
A 54-yard drive on just a couple of plays, a 19-yard rushing touchdown for TJ Davis, and 6 on the board.
Once TJ gets the edge, it's usually over, and he did a great job there.
He saw that defensive lineman coming up. That was the person that had the responsibility for the quarterback, and that's going to be a mismatch every time.
Definitely.
Davis, one of the most accomplished quarterbacks in the country in Division II, one of the most prolific rushers of the football in Nebraska Kearney history. He needs just 65 yards rushing today to become the 2nd all-time leading rusher in school history. The point after kick sails through. It's 7-0 UNK with 12:41 left in the first quarter on News Channel Nebraska.
From the moment something didn't feel quite right, to that ambulance arriving at your door. From the immediate diagnosis, to the surgery that followed, to the long list of lifestyle changes, and that family gathering that everyone always talked about, but for whatever reason kept getting postponed, to the moment you sat back and realized how grateful you are for everything you have. We've been here for you, just around the corner. Columbus Community Hospital.
This is a familiar look if you're a UNK fan. Put the ball in TJ Davis's hands, and the Colorado Springs product finds Pater.
Kind of some counter action there. They pulled the backside tackle, and he wrapped around and gave TJ a pretty good lead blocker.
For TJ Davis, that's his 4th touchdown of the season already. We're just in week number 2. If you were pointing to something last week with the offense, almost 90% of the production came from one player, TJ Davis, both on the ground and through the air, but that's a good guy to lean on if you're leaning on someone.
Well, and, to be honest with you, everybody's got tendencies, and, you get, like we mentioned earlier, he's a 2-time MIAA Player of the Year on offense, so you would kind of expect him to be the lead horse, if you will.
Davis with the big completion to Foster, Severin Foster. goes by Sev, 6'1", 210-pound senior out of Lincoln Southeast, where he didn't make a whole lot of noise in Nebraska prep football, but found a way onto the Rochester College roster, then McNeese State and FCS program, now a graduate transfer playing for UNK, and he got loose on play action for that big 35-yard gain. Failing's kick bobbled, but then taken around the outside for a solid return. Good lick applied on the Riverhawks sideline, but Northeastern will have the football in good position.
You know, oftentimes on a kickoff, when there is a bobbled handle of the ball, people tend to let up, and that's when you do see some good returns happen. So I really wasn't surprised to see that once he got a hold of the ball, that he got some yards.
An 8-yard completion to open up the game for Northeastern State, but after that, an incomplete pass and a stuff on a run led to a 3-and-out. The Nebraska Kearney defense back on the field with the ball at the 41. Ward on the play action gets it to the bobbling tight end. He's gobbled up, pushed out of bounds. That's Odom again with his second grab, and it goes for 7 yards.
Well, Northeast looks like they want to try to spread things out a little bit and try to establish the pass as opposed to the run.
Good pursuit by the linebacking core. That linebacking core led by Zach Schlager. Just like Davis, he's a guy that's been around college football, now going on his 6th season out of McCook, Nebraska. On 2nd and 2. On the ground. And the Loper defense is there to meet the ball carrier at the line of scrimmage.
Well, one of the things that I saw this week watching the film on Northeast last week against Fort Hays was they did struggle up front establishing the run. And so, you know, it doesn't surprise me that they're trying to mix things up a little bit and throw the quick game.
3rd down and 2 for the second consecutive possession. Can the Lopers force another 3-and-out? Long huddle. They're running out of time. 5 seconds on the play clock. 2 seconds, and there's the timeout. Coach J.J. Eckert, in his 5th season leading Northeastern State, has to burn the timeout before 3rd down and 2. A strong showing for UNK in the first 4 minutes. We'll be back for the 3rd down play after this.
Plumbing needs attention? Trust the experts at John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical. No matter the size of the job, John Henry's brings extensive expertise to handle everything your home's plumbing system requires. So whether your drain is clogged, your water heater needs an upgrade, or you want to remodel your kitchen or bathroom, we're here for you. Reach out to us today and discover why, since 1996, we've proudly served families as the most reliable plumbing company in the Lincoln area. John Henry's, our family serving yours since 1996.
A look at the Northeastern State Riverhawks huddle. They had to burn the timeout ahead of 3rd down and 2. While that was happening, started to rain a little bit, and Tell Spees looking to the Loper fans, trying to fire them up ahead of this 3rd down snap.
That's kind of unfortunate that Northeast had to burn a timeout right away in the first quarter, but sometimes you have to do that to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Quick pass to the right side. It's caught for the 1st down. Strong completion through the air for Ward, finding Will Bergner along the right sideline, the 6'1", 180-pound sophomore from Marlow, Oklahoma.
Javier Peterson did a nice job of closing in on that quick game.
Got about 4 yards when he needed 2. We were talking about Zach Schlager. He gets a breather on this snap. Actually, Schlager back out onto the field.
Joko, yep.
Yes. We'll talk about the McCook native in a moment. Swing pass. Works like a lateral there. And UNK's defense able to shed the block and chat a little bit afterwards. That's Seth Holt, the nickelback, with the stop after just a couple-yard gain for Northeast.
That was an excellent job by Seth Holt, number 25. He did a good job of playing off to the outside with that wide receiver who was trying to block him, forcing everything back in, and made a great tackle.
Zach Schlager, the leader of this defense at the linebacker spot, out with injury all of last season after he was an All-American pick the season before. It's good to have him out there, and he's excited for his final season of football.
Yeah, he's a great physical player. He's a good vocal leader and just a good guy to have out there.
Former Colorado State Ram, former Nebraska Cornhusker. Ward on play action, goes to the tight end again. Tremendous catch, and staying on his feet is Dean Odom. Odom with 3 grabs in the opening quarter and sets up 3rd down and short for the Riverhawks.
Trey O'Gwen made a pretty good hit on that. I'm kind of surprised he hung on to that football. That was a good job by that tight end.
Now, Odom, really fine play. Didn't have a catch last week.
You can tell, Northeast's offensive game plan is much different than it was last week against Fort Hays State.
3 wide receivers on the left. Not a lot of defensive backs over there. On 3rd down and 2, it's a screen pass to a wide receiver on the left side. Turning the corner and sliding past the 1st down marker is Drew Ellerick, the 5'11 junior from Stroud, Oklahoma, brother of the other quarterback. That's Grant Ellerick, who started week 1, his brother, with a reception from Ward. We're now 6 minutes in here in the first quarter, brought to you by John Henry's, their family serving yours.
On that previous play, Javier Peterson didn't play that as well as Seth Holt did the previous play on that bubble screen. Javier took an inside release, and it allowed the receiver to get outside.
Looking to throw on the trick play, wide open on the right side, bobbled by Ellerick. It's incomplete. He had it hauled in for a 1st down, but couldn't quite squeeze it in the rain, and the trick play doesn't net anything for the Riverhawks.
That was a good play call by the Northeast Riverhawks, and unfortunately things just didn't work out. That young man was wide open, and sometimes that happens. You get a little bit too wide open, and you don't finish the play.
Will Bergner on the attempt, the 6'1" wide receiver, a sophomore. 2nd down and 10 now. On the 2nd drive for Northeastern State. They're looking for their first points of the season, and they're not finding it on the ground. Once again, the UNK defense relentless in pursuit of the football. That time, Quillen Felton leads the charge. A fascinating player, 6'4", 215-pound junior from Lithonia, Georgia.
It looked like Coach Schaffner also blitzed Joko Willis on that play, and it just so happened he blitzed right into the run play. So that was a good play by Coach Schaffner. Good call.
Felton is one of those guys on this team that it's been a while since he played football. He spent 2018 and 2019 at Butler Community College. Count it up, that's 3 years without football. Right. Now he's back on the field and described as a freak athlete.
He really played well last week against UCO. He's a little undersized, but he runs well, and he's got a big motor.
6'4", 215 pounds. Not often that you see that at the rush end spot, but had enough to stop the run, and then a penalty flag on the far side of the field, not by the incompletion. It's on the opposite side. And it was too many men on the field for Nebraska Kearney. I believe that's what I heard from the official. So that will move the football up and negate what would have been a 3rd down stop for the Loper defense.
And that happened last week in a critical situation. And I know they're trying to sub people in. Just everybody has to be on the same page and get off the field and get on when we need them.
It's 3rd down and 6 after the penalty. The Lopers crowding the line of scrimmage defensively, but only bring 4. Ward trying to run for it, has the space, has the 1st down and more into the red zone. A scramble on 3rd down and 6 gets the football to the 17-yard line. A gain of 14 for the junior quarterback.
That was a good job by Ben Ward, the quarterback for Northeast there. I mean, UNK brought a lot of pressure. They were in man coverage, and so when he was able to break the line of scrimmage, he was able to run for that 1st down.
So 1st and 10 from the red zone. A strong drive for the Riverhawks offense. Handoff, tripped up. Blake May The junior back from Frisco, Texas that we spotlighted in the pregame. A little bit higher step, and he could still be running.
Northeast showed an unbalanced line that time, and that's where they ran the football. I think that might have been a new formation that the Lopers hadn't seen yet.
The Northeastern offense last week shut out in that 56-0 defeat, managed 199 yards, just 2.9 yards per carry. They're right about that right now, thanks to that quarterback run, but the running back run game has not been there. 2nd down and 9. It's the quick screen pass and dropped. Incomplete. Drew Ellerick, a frequent target on this drive, couldn't secure that football. That's back-to-back attempts or targets for Ellerick that he couldn't secure.
Another unbalanced formation for Northeast. They are mixing it up, trying to confuse the UNK defense.
3rd down and 9. There is a good field goal kicker, honorable mention, all-conference, in Tyler Crawford. They're in his range. 10 seconds on the play clock for the Riverhawks as Ward continues to direct traffic. And a timeout taken. With his headset off, J.J. Eckert frustrated, having to burn the 2nd timeout used on this drive. We'll take a break with him. It's 7-0 UNK on News Channel Nebraska.
Welcome home, where learning is immersive and faculty are trusted mentors. At Northeastern State University, in-demand degrees and affordable tuition make dreams attainable. Our vibrant community and organizations make the journey unforgettable. Your success starts here.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Third down and 9 for Northeastern State in Loper territory. Out of the timeout, Ward gets the snap. Tremendous block. Heaves to the end zone, and it's caught. Is it inbounds? Yes.
Touchdown.
What an excellent catch by Drew Ellerick. The junior, who had just dropped a couple of passes, makes the catch of the season for the Riverhawks.
That was an excellent throw and catch because the quarterback had a lot of pressure on him.
Now, Willis was bearing down on Ward. He didn't get to set his feet and delivered the ball in the back corner of the end zone perfectly.
Excellent drive by the Riverhawks on that series.
And what an impressive way to score a touchdown, and your first touchdown of the season as a team. And Crawford slings the extra point through. We're tied up at 7, just past the midway point of the first quarter on News Channel Nebraska.
Whether we're talking commercial or residential plumbing, Lamel Plumbing is the place you call. Lamel provides 24-hour emergency service as well. Call them if you get in a tight spot. And as for their retail items, well, you got to check out some of their faucets, some of their kitchen items, and some of their bathroom items like their Onyx showers. And hey, say you've got a digging job, you call Lamel Plumbing for that too. They've added a full-time crew for you, doing backhoe, trenching, and sewer work. Take that digging job off your list and have Lamel do it for you. That's Lamel Plumbing in Beatrice, now at their new location on North 7th Street in Beatrice.
It all started long ago, with cattle in mind, and it's still the major focus today of Powder River Livestock Handling Equipment and your friends at Valley Vet Supply in Marysville. They want to provide you with the best equipment. That's why they sell Powder River. It truly does stand the test of time. Powder River is a name you can trust. From cattle handling systems to gates and feeders, Powder River makes equipment for life. Come see for yourself at Valley Vet Supply on Highway 36 in Marysville.
Tied up at 7 points right now on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard. I'm Michael Shifley. Scott Hoffman is with me. We're your broadcast team. Danny Alvarado is our director. Beautiful night for football and a little bit of rain coming down. It did not bother the Riverhawks on that drive. They score the touchdown. Their first point scored in a football game since November 5th of last year. They were shut out 56-0 last week. In the season finale last year, UNK shut out the Riverhawks 42-zip. So they had played more than 8 quarters without scoring any points, and they do it in that fashion.
They did a great job. They mixed things up, had a lot of different formations, moved the ball around a little bit, didn't really try to pound the football. They did take some time off the clock, but great job by the quarterback, hitting different receivers, hitting the bubble screen, and then going down the field. So their receivers made some great catches, and he had some time to throw it.
Darius Jackson catches that football in the end zone for a touchback, and the Loper offense will trot back out. It just took them 2 plays last possession, 2 electric plays, a 35-yard pass from TJ Davis to Severin Foster, and then a Davis 19-yard touchdown run. We're going to re-kick this now. Yes, a penalty flag on that kick. Must have been an offsides or on the kicking team.
Yep.
So a chance for a return for the Lopers.
That's one of those deals where you're never happy as a coach when that happens. Because that was a pretty good kick.
Jerquan Connors and Darius Jackson are the deep men. Crawford to boot it away for Northeastern. Loper's return game a season ago didn't net much, whether it was punts or kickoffs. Just had trouble getting many lanes open on special teams. See what Jake Mandelko's unit will do this season. Connors did have a really good return last week. Taken on the sideline from the 5. Better field position. Now it opens up for Darius Jackson. Jackson down the right sideline, still alive into Riverhawks territory.
That was a line drive kick, and Jackson did a great job of just being patient and finding his hole, and he hit the burners when he had a chance.
A junior college transfer out of Ellsworth Community College in Iowa, originally from St. Louis, and persevered. It wasn't really open along the sideline, but kept running and found some space.
Yeah, sometimes on those kickoff returns, the blocking doesn't really materialize the way you want it to, and it's just up to the return man. Excellent field position again for UNK. Hopefully they can do something with the ball here.
Starting at the 38 of the Riverhawks. Going with the pistol formation with the running back Kevin Brown. Brown gets the carry, bounces to the outside, and cuts forward to about the 33-yard line. Solid 5-yard pickup on first down for Brown. Kevin Brown, one of those new faces. He gets in the starting lineup just ahead of Jamal Joseph, who's a holdover from last season. 5'8", 190-pound senior from East St. Louis.
Showed good quickness on that play.
Had 6 carries for just 7 yards last week at Central Oklahoma. Davis sends Brown in motion on 2nd and 5, running the speed option. There's Brown. Brown has the first down, stacked up along the left sideline.
Excellent block out there on the perimeter. I couldn't really tell which wide receiver that was, but he did a nice job.
So a new offense out there for the Lopers, led by Colby Ellis, the play caller, and Ryan Held, part of the architect of it. But still running some bread and butter plays from the Josh Lynn era, and that's the option. And why wouldn't you with the quarterback you have?
Absolutely. That's what TJ Davis does best. That wide receiver on the previous play was Cole Brown that made a great block out there on the perimeter and was able to free Jackson up.
No relation to the running back Kevin Brown, but Cole Brown, how about this for size? 6'3", 205-pound sophomore out of Dallas, Georgia. And the Lopers have to take an offensive timeout. We've played just over 10 minutes of football here at Cope Stadium, and we're tied at 7 on the Midway Auto Dealership scoreboard.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, lawn and garden tractor, or gator, every piece of equipment in our inventory is ready to work hard for your operation. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or learn more at landmarkimp.com to experience the Landmark difference.
Tied at 7 towards the end of quarter number 1. Michael Shifley, Scott Hoffman with you. We've seen 3 timeouts here in this first quarter. Neither side wants to be burning those this early.
Pretty unusual, but I think in the first couple games of the year, that's not uncommon.
Installing a new system is UNK. They give to Brown, sheds one tackler, then met at the line of scrimmage on 1st and 10. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Brown for no gain. Gives us a chance to mention the offensive line, and you're looking at some guys that are out of position or were used to being deeper on the depth chart. Hunter Push starts at left tackle. Nolan Olafson at left guard. John Merton is the center, and he has been the center. James Kent at right guard. Hunter Hayes at right tackle. Your starting 5 for the Loper offensive line.
Yeah, it's definitely a patchwork group, and you know, trying to get that done. Coach Nate Baker, the O-line coach, has to earn his pay now.
Solid run for Davis, who faked the swing pass. Then did a stutter step. He likes to do that when he's in space. Take a step backwards and get the defense to overrun it. The Riverhawks didn't that time and held him to about 7 yards.
He's tough to tackle in space, that's for sure.
I wouldn't want to try. The no-huddle approach from the Lopers. Having an H-back in right now. And they run it to the right side with Brown. Brown doesn't have much room. It's 4th down and short. Excitedly erupting from the pile is Junior Brown, a sophomore from Shreveport, Louisiana, for Northeastern State.
Looks like Coach Held's keeping the offense out there.
The kicker is Gabe Hines, a Kearney native, transfer from Nebraska. He did not kick last week. Kyle Failing was the place kicker. The wind is blowing. It's blowing pretty hard in the face of the Lopers. 4th down and 2, and a tie ball game in the first quarter. Davis gives to Brown, right side. He's wrapped up and falls forward. This will be close. The Riverhawks think they have the stop.
I don't think he got it.
And he didn't get it. A turnover on downs. Head coach Ryan Held jumping up and down in frustration along the Loper sideline. And UNK gives it away in the red zone. That does flash back a little bit to last week when UNK went for it on 4th down and 1, but they did that within their own territory, ran the quarterback sneak, didn't get it, and it was a big moment in that first half against the Broncos.
Yep. You know, the offensive line, with so many new players, they're struggling to get a big push up front. So far,
Brown and Kevin Brown just hasn't had a whole lot of running room through a gain and a quarter.
Yeah, so far UNK's run production has come on the perimeter.
Penalty flag flies from the back judge as the ball carrier for Northeastern picks his way forward. Bergner was in the area. He wasn't the ball carrier, but this will back up the Riverhawks. So already starting at their own 16, and a hold will make it more severe than that.
Well, hopefully UNK's defense can rise up here and get good field position by making the Riverhawks punt the football.
Parker Wise in the ball game, redshirt freshman out of Kearney High School. He's playing middle linebacker right now and was in on that stop. That's good to see. Covered him when he played in the Shrine Bowl, which was just about 14 months ago at this field. And now he's out getting significant early minutes for the Loper defense.
Yeah, I believe he played a little bit last week, too, and did some good things.
He got a Chaos Tempo sticker, which it's similar if you're a Nebraska fan, those single-digit numbers, same type of concept for the Lopers. First down and 18 after the penalty. Handoff to the short side, and UNK blows that up. Multiple defenders over there, including Quillen Felton. Also in the area, Jack Nicolaisen. He's 6'3", 270-pounder out of Millard South High School. Came in last season after an injury along the defensive line. But Felton with good and Joko Willis also over there.
Monty Repster did a great job of turning that play back in at the corner.
Second down and 17 from their own 10. Ward. Hands off. They are dedicated to the run now, but not getting much traction still. On the carry, handed off to Blake May, the junior from Frisco, Texas.
As we stated earlier and during the pregame, they do struggle a little bit trying to get movement up front. And so just trying to pound the ball like that is not really what they do best.
83 rush yards is all last week for the Riverhawks. An obvious passing scenario here, third down and 19 from their own 7-yard line. An opportunity for the Loper defense to set their offense up in good field position again. Just 6 seconds on the play clock.
They're going to have to hurry.
3 seconds.
They're
going to have to burn their third
timeout.
Or just take the penalty, and they just take the penalty. It's only half the distance. Or actually, it will be 5 yards. It'll be from their own 2. Third down and 24. And for the third time, Northeastern State too slow getting the play call in.
They were trying to sub in quite a few players, and they were running out of time. Big opportunity here for UNK to get a stop.
I'll correct myself. It was half the distance to the goal, so that's back to the 4-yard line. Third down and 19. 4 wide receivers, 3 of them on the right side. It's just a straight handoff, and the Loper defensive line is there. They win the battle against the offensive front for the Riverhawks and take down the back in the backfield. And Tell Spees is the guy at the front doing it.
Pretty conservative play call by the Riverhawks, but I can see why. You're backed up. The last thing you want to do is give up a safety and take a sack or throw an interception.
The holding penalty really ruined that drive, which was already not the best field position for Northeastern State, but the holding penalty set it back 10 yards, and they weren't able to recover. That's
Along
the
with
end
the
of one
game.
quarter. And the delay game didn't help either. We have a tie ball game here at Foster Field. It's all knotted up at 7 on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard on News Channel Nebraska.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Tom Dinsdale Auto. Celebrating 20 years, Tom Dinsdale Auto is proud to be community-driven. And by News Channel Nebraska. Check us out on Twitter at NCN Sports.
UNK is a place where quality education meets hands-on learning, and going the extra mile gets rewarded. It's a place where you can put yourself out there, reach your goals, and set new ones you never thought possible. Be yourself, but develop the best version of you. Let us show you what you're made of. Be blue, be gold, be bold. Apply now to the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Learn more at unk.edu.
Women have a 1 in 8 chance for developing breast cancer. Early detection makes a difference. Beatrice Community Hospital's Imaging Center can help with the latest technology, from screening with 3D mammography, breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and breast biopsy. All services conveniently located in the BCH's Imaging Center. Schedule your screening today. Incredible care, incredibly close.
Order your dream vehicle today with no money down. If you don't love it when it arrives, leave it with absolutely no obligation. We are professional grade at Central Nebraska's premier GM dealer. Midway Chevrolet, Buick GMC in Kearney, or thinkmidway.com/GM.
Beautiful Cope Stadium on the campus of the University of Nebraska, Kearney. Michael Shifley, Scott Hoffman with you as we start quarter number 2, tied at 7 between Northeastern State and UNK. A couple of programs 0-1 to start out the season. Tyler Crawford has his back against the end zone, and it was partially blocked. The Lopers got a piece of it, and the ball flounders at the 21-yard line. UNK will get this football 3 feet away from the red zone. And we'll get to see another look at that.
I don't know who came off the edge, but he was clean. And when you run that shield punt, that's unusual to have a guy come that free.
Last week, I'm sure some folks were having flashbacks. A roughing the punter call a week ago doomed UNK's comeback hopes in a 3-point loss on the road. Would have had the football with about 2.5 minutes left at the 30-yard line, down 3, and the momentum. But a roughing the punter penalty negated that chance. Not this time. They get a piece of the football and set up the Loper offense at the 21 of Northeastern State. DJ Gross, the tight end, motions to the outside. Davis fakes that way, keeps the football up the middle, somehow slides between a pair of white uniforms, and gets the first down.
I believe that was a read option. They pulled DJ out like he was a lead blocker and ran a bubble screen with Jamal. And I think it was up to TJ whether to throw it or take the ball.
Davis called his own number, got the first down. And a player might be cramping up for Northeastern State. They call it dead. The defensive back on the far side. This set up by the blocked punt. Credit the Loper special teams for coming in, making that play.
I'm sure Coach Mandelko is pretty excited about that. That was a good job by the UNK punt return team.
Well, rain appears to have, it's still going a little bit, but not pouring. Nobody really minds it, it seems. First down and 10 from the 10, so first and goal. Davis hands off, keeps it. And Davis dives forward for a yard or two, gets 1 to the 9.
Northeast defensive line is playing pretty good. Their front seven's not bad. And again, with
Lopers trying to add to the score here in the second quarter. Today's broadcast brought to you in part by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com. Visit the folks right here in Kearney for your vehicle needs. Spreading out 4 wide receivers for second down and goal from the 9. Connors comes in motion. Handoff, straight up the gut. And a nice push forward by the offensive line. Jamal Joseph, the true sophomore, plunges ahead to the 5, gets 4 yards, and it's third down and goal. Joseph stays out there as the back. 3 carries for 12 yards a week ago. Showed some glimpses of brilliance as a true freshman. True freshmen typically don't play for Coach Josh Lynn, but Joseph did last year because of his talent. He might get the carry here, but if he does, it will come after the timeout. Colby Ellis, the offensive coordinator, wants to get the right play call in for third down and goal from the 5. Just over 2 minutes into the second quarter, we're still tied up in Kearney.
Life is a wild ride. It's important to have a trusted partner along the way. Liberty First Credit Union exists to provide its members with affordable financial services. Whether it is a large purchase, a new car or home remodel, overcoming obstacles, or chasing your dreams, financing life is what we do best. Give us a call or visit libertyfirstcu.com.
A big moment early in this ball game, which is tied up. Northeastern State fighting hard against the Lopers on the road in Kearney, and UNK has 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Playbook wide open in this situation, but you likely want it in the hands of your National Player of the Year candidate quarterback. And he's alone in the shotgun. That's Sean Johnson in motion. The snap is to Davis. Davis is in trouble. Maneuvering to his right, now cutting upfield, gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Tried a little jet sweep action with counter to come back, and Northeast played that pretty good.
And they did not fall for the fake. Their defense blew up the right side. Good look at your Beatrice Community Hospital replay. Terrific pursuit by the Riverhawk defense. Gabe Hines on for the field goal, and there's movement early. That's on the defense.
I would hope. No, they can't be calling that.
Okay, it's false start. Excuse me. It was the motion of the Lopers that forced the Riverhawks offsides. That will back this up. It's right in the middle of the field, so still very manageable. The wind has fallen down, not a huge factor at the moment. A 28-yard field goal try. Gabe Hines, Kearney, Nebraska native, gets it up, and it's splits the uprights for 3 points for the Lopers. UNK is back in front at home. 10-7 the score. The Lopers will kick off after this.
At Nebraska Orthopedic Center, they provide comprehensive orthopedic health care. Their physicians are highly skilled in all areas of orthopedic and sports medicine, including spine surgery, foot and ankle, hand and upper extremities, fracture care, and total joint replacement. Their expertise includes the medical management of injuries through physical and rehabilitative methods or surgical intervention. To schedule an appointment or to learn more about Nebraska Orthopedic Center and their family of 25 physicians, go online to nebraskaortho.com. That's nebraskaortho.com. Nebraska Orthopedic Center is your healing destination.
Champions are crowned each year in Lincoln. All of us at Visit Lincoln welcome the athletes, families, and fans from across Nebraska to our community. When the final whistle blows and the game ends, make sure to discover how Lincoln can make your stay even more memorable. Stop by the Visitor Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit us on the web at lincoln.org. Visit Lincoln is a proud supporter of high school athletics.
Michael Shively, Scott Hoffman with you. 3 minutes gone in the second quarter, and the lead stands at 3 for the Nebraska Kearney Lopers. UNK gets the 27-yard field goal, courtesy of the local boy, Gabe Hines, transferring in from Nebraska, and kicks it through with no trouble. Kyle Failing will be the one to boot this kick away. He was the place kicker out of camp, but it was a close battle, so Failing and Hines probably interchangeable for much of the season, but Hines has the head start with the make on his first field goal try.
Right.
Really nice kick here into the end zone for a touchback. All the Northeastern State offense will come back out. Their most recent drive saddled with penalties, went 3 and out for the second time this game. But they did show glimpses, or actually more than a glimpse, they showed plenty. The previous possession to tie the game at 7. We'll break it all down for you coming up at halftime. Your halftime show brought to you by Cunningham's Journal on the Bricks. You can find it on 23rd Street in downtown Kearney. I find it often. Get some Journal bites. Get a burger. I go with the Hawaiian chicken skewers. If you're in Kearney, order that because it's really good. Handoff right up the middle, this time a small seam and a stumble forward for Blake May near the first down marker. 9 yards for the junior back.
Another unbalanced formation for Northeast and kind of forced the Lopers over to that strength of the formation and ran a counter back, and it popped for some good yardage.
Devin Guja helping in on that play, a 6'1", 205-pound junior transfer from Allen Hancock College in California, one of many junior college transfers on this new look 2023 Loper squad. Ward to pass on 2nd and 1. Steps into it and overshoots his target. His tight end on the crossing route was open. Trying to get that to Trey Curran. 6'4", 255, senior out of Lawton, Oklahoma. Big fella, and that was gunned a little too tall for him.
Yep. A little too anxious to get him the ball, I think. Didn't really throw the ball very well. Oh, we got a swinging gate here.
Ward.
They're pulling out all the stops.
He'll need to get rid of that football immediately. Does, and it's dropped. All of that for a drop. Drew Ellerick, who had the tremendous catch for the touchdown, now has 3 drops in the game to go with it, including that critical play on 3rd down and 1. It reminds me, that formation, a little bit of the Indianapolis Colts about a decade ago when they ran that under center and the quarterback was tackled immediately.
And sometimes you outsmart yourself.
That time just couldn't squeeze it. Wonder if slick conditions maybe messing with Ellerick, but he's had a tough time squeezing it in this game. Crawford gets off a decent punt, but the Loper offense comes back out, enjoying a 3-point lead at home here in the home opener.
Well, as I mentioned, the Riverhawks have pulled out all the stops. They've shown a ton of formations, some trickery, 2 trick plays now, and they're doing everything they can to try to be successful. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out very well.
Colby Ellis, the offensive coordinator. Ryan Held not calling plays, but he did last year at North Alabama. That's an FCS program after being dismissed from the Nebraska coaching staff where he was a running backs coach. Held was the offensive coordinator for North Alabama. When their head coach was fired with a few games left in the season, he was interim head coach. Deep pass over the middle, and Davis finds his man into Riverhawks territory. Caught by DJ Gross, the senior, with his first grab of the season, and it's for big yardage.
That's awesome to see DJ come up with that big catch. He's had a long career in terms of being injured and that kind of stuff and hasn't been able to get on the field. So it's great to see him come up with a big play.
A 32-yard reception and sets up the Lopers 1st and 10 from the 38 of Northeastern State. Handoff and a hole. Tripped up after getting the first down. Strong run that time for UNK's Demarius Hosey. 5'11", 210-pound graduate transfer from Justin, Texas, but he's played at Montana State and Northwest. Now the Lopers not wasting time between plays. Now they look to the side. Hosey remains in the backfield. Speed option to the short side. Hosey gets a short gain. Well, going back, Scott, to that big completion, DJ Gross out of McCook, a longtime head coach, his father there built a tremendous program with the Bison, and you know you're getting a heady player, and now after some position changes, he's at tight end and finds himself at the top of the depth chart his senior season, able to make a big play.
Yeah, that's, just speaks volumes for DJ himself, being willing to make that change to a different formation and then still come out and be the starter.
And I think a lot of folks were not thinking that he would be at the top of the depth chart this season, but he had a freshman tight end depart, not playing football, didn't transfer anywhere to play football anywhere else, so stopped playing and didn't get any new guys in that could take over that top spot. So DJ up to the task and makes the 32-yard grab. Now the offense trying to turn that into points, facing 3rd down and 9. A 5 wide receiver formation. And showing blitz along the side is Gabe Brown, the linebacker for Northeastern State. A test for this patchwork offensive line on 3rd down and 9. Davis has it broken up. Terrific coverage along the far sideline. A Marion Partee, sophomore from Arkansas, gets his hand in to swat that ball away. And from the 24-yard line, the field goal unit comes out. Hines. This will be a 41-yard try. The wind, not really a factor right now. Hit from 27 last drive. Kick up, has the distance, but not the angle. A miss for Hines on the 41-yarder. And the Lopers not able to get points. The ball back to the Riverhawks, who trail by just 3.
That's unfortunate. UNK had good field position again and just wasn't able to plug some points on the board.
Well, that kicking battle went back and forth. Junior Gonzalez was the kicker last year. Didn't get too many attempts past 30 yards, but did hit the walk-off game winner to finish last season against Central Oklahoma, or finish the home slate last season against Central Oklahoma. So a new place kicker. Hines fresh into the roster. Couldn't connect that time. Loper defense up to the task the last couple of possessions, forcing 3 and out. Ward on play action is in trouble, unloads and off of the fingertips of Bergner. And a strong rush right in his face, that's Delonte Dickey. 6'3", 235, a sophomore out of Colorado. He had the lone sack a week ago for the Loper defense.
Delonte is a young man that moved from an outside linebacker position last year. Of course, they get a different defensive scheme this year, and he's doing a good job at that defensive end.
Everybody on the right side of the field for that offense, the side near to the press box. Spinning all the way around, and Ward delivers a good enough ball. It's caught by Avery Payne. 6'4", 195, a true freshman out of Marlow, Oklahoma. Gets 5 yards, 3rd and 5. I think the back went the wrong direction on the play action. Didn't matter.
Another chance for a big stop here for UNK. The defense has been playing well other than just one drive.
Blake May to the left of Ben Ward, the quarterback. With 1 second on the play clock, they get the snap off. Ward steps up. He's going to try to run for it and gets it. Stopped on the play by the Lopers' David Lilly, but not before he, right near it. Did not get the first down. A tough spot for the Riverhawks.
Wow, I was really surprised by that.
And the punt unit comes out at 4th down and inches. That was at least from my vantage point, looked like a favorable spot for UNK.
I thought so too.
I thought, no doubt, that he had that first down.
It was a good job of tackling by David Lilly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there's going to be a penalty right there. They say he's blocked into
he must have got some of the ball.
I believe he was blocked into the punter, so that's why they didn't throw the flag.
And Crawford, he he's either, sometimes they're fine, but really took a while to get up, did the 5'11", 185-pound junior from Broken Arrow. We'll take another look at that punt and see the situation.
Yeah, he blocked him right into him.
Okay, so that's what negated that from being a penalty. Again, the Lopers with the roughing the punter, which really should have been running into the punter last week. It wouldn't have mattered either way. No. 5 yards would have given UCO the first down, so it's just semantics. But that was such a critical play, and it ended that game. And so to see a collision again.
Yeah.
Oh, Jake Mandelko, I'm sure, shivers at that moment. Good punt, though, by Crawford.
Very good. Put UNK back in the hole here.
Penalty flag on the near sideline.
There's a face mask.
Perhaps a face mask on top of it.
Doesn't look like they called it.
Yes, I think I saw a flag come in. Yeah, flag came in
yeah,
from
there it is. Yeah.
Back judge. Well, not sure what the first penalty is, but for sure a face mask on the tackle. Check out what happened on that face mask. And clearly got a hold of it, did Marquez Chapman, 280-pound junior. Get the word from our officiating crew. First, Ryan Held has to make a decision. Be encouraging for the Lopers that they have to ask the head coach.
Yeah.
Okay, illegal substitution on the defense and the face mask on the defense. Head referee today, Stan Lopeman. Now that's a good name to be officiating for the Lopers, right? Stan Lopeman?
Yeah. I don't know if we requested him, if Ryan requested him or not, but let's hopefully he's our official to every game now.
So that football moves from the 13 to the 28. That's 15 penalty yards against the Riverhawks on those two flags. The Lopers will go empty set. Another 5 wide receiver look. Davis wants to throw out of it. He's running out of time. Escapes the tackle box, and gets a few yards out of it. Davis ushered out of bounds. Good coverage by Northeastern State. Davis unable to find anybody downfield.
Yeah, they dropped. They were in cover 8. They dropped 8 people back that time, and still got pressure on TJ.
We mentioned the running back core, familiar names. Montrez Jackson graduated. Damian Kearns no longer with the team. Miko Maisner not playing football. Zane Schwong buried on the depth chart. He might be in there now, actually.
He is.
Right on cue, Schwong gets the carry. 2nd down and 6, gets right near the marker. This will be 3rd down and short. In addition to that, many new faces on the wide receiver core. There are some names that you might recognize from last season, like Zorian Stanton, who caught a touchdown last week, Jaquan Connors, Sean Ross, but they're all on the 2nd string. So for the most part, this wide receiver core that sometimes you're spreading 5 wide, all new to us, all new to TJ Davis, the quarterback, as well.
Yep. And sometimes that makes a difference. It's hard to get used to new faces, how they're going to run their route. You got to spend a lot of time after practice, before practice, on air, just trying to get your timing down.
But I can tell you that the Lopers do like those new receivers.
Yes,
they're really
definitely
talented.
Yep.
Ran for that 1st down on 3rd and short. Might have been a triple option there. They give it up the gut. And there's not much room, just a yard on 1st down as the clock winds to 4:20 remaining. Each team with just 1 timeout left in this half. This is your 2nd quarter, brought to you by O Street Carpet, supported by Steve Carper and the crew over there at O Street Carpet in Lincoln. Davis throws across his body. Catch made. In a few yards out of it. Good job for Brown, Kevin Brown, making his 2nd reception of the season. 3rd down and 4 for the Loper offense, and this is a big snap here.
Really is. They need to get a first down and hopefully get some points on the board.
Plenty of time if they had to punt this away for Northeastern State. Davis looking left, has Brown wide open, has the first down and more. Knocked to the ground at the 42-yard line. Gets 14 yards on 3rd and 4.
Great call, releasing that back out into the flat. That oftentimes on those plays, it's hard to cover that guy, and that's an easy first down.
And a quick snap. The defense wasn't ready. Davis still doesn't have anybody open. Throws to the left side, and a perfectly timed hit. That broke up that pass intended for Severin Foster. How about the lick applied by Marion Partee, the sophomore from Arkansas, the second time we've called his name after he made a strong pass breakup earlier this half. And Sean Johnson comes out. Johnson is the backup quarterback for the Lopers, but got some time last week as a receiver. Had 2 catches for 7 yards, also a carry that went for nothing. His second time in the game, and he's standing to the right of Davis, now motioning out. One of the fastest guys, if not the fastest on the team. Low snap, Davis in trouble, eludes the rush, and stymied at the line of scrimmage. Some hands near the helmet there, but no face mask penalty.
And that's unfortunate. I don't know if that snap came back low or TJ just didn't handle it.
Kind of some of both,
low,
about ankle high, but coming unblocked anyways was the rusher for Northeastern State, Jamar McKee.
Another big third down here for UNK.
UNK 2 for 5 on 3rd down in this game. But now 3rd and long, they need 11 yards. Time in the pocket for Davis. He wants the deep ball. It's caught for a touchdown. Severin Foster.
Great throw
wins
and
the
catch.
Fight for the football. A 42-yard strike on 3rd and long for the Lopers.
Michael, if you notice, they've got Jamal Joseph out wide. That puts him on the corner. So Sev had a mismatch on an inside linebacker or a strong safety. Great call by the UNK coaching staff.
Foster with a really strong catch. Showed off his grip strength there as the defensive back caught up. Davis unloaded that football just before he got hit, and the perfect connection yields 6 points. Hines has this one up, and it's through. And it's 17-7 Lopers on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard with 2:14 left in the half.
Tom Dinsdale Automotive is celebrating our 20th anniversary. 20 years of building lifelong relationships. 20 years of providing superior customer experiences. 20 years of supporting the community. For 20 years, we've been building trust and loyalty by treating every customer like family on every visit. We're proud to serve Grand Island and the surrounding areas. Thank you for 20 great years, and we look forward to many more. Help us celebrate 20 years of service. Stop in today.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com and by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports for more highlights, interviews, rankings, and our full schedule.
Here's a look at that touchdown pass. Davis held in the pocket and at the last second unloaded. Foster holds onto the football as he's tackled into the end zone. A 42-yard connection, and Sev Foster, his 5th catch as a Loper, his first touchdown.
That was an excellent play call. There was a good design by the UNK coaching staff. Putting the running back out on the corner forces the defense to line up with probably one of our top wide receivers with an outside linebacker or a strong safety in coverage, and that's a mismatch.
Sev Foster out of high school at Lincoln Southeast, went to Rochester College in Minnesota, earned all conference honors, parlayed that into a scholarship at McNeese State as a wide receiver at the FCS level. Got quite a bit of action. This kick a touchback just in the corner. Quite a bit of action. Didn't light up the stats, but had played in 10 games last year, 5 catches, 56 yards. Before that, 9 games, or 9 grabs rather, for 168 yards on the season. So was a player that got action at the FCS level and now finishing off his career as a graduate transfer in his home state.
Yeah, a huge get for UNK, and I'll tell you what, he showed some great hands on that play right there. So that was a big score for UNK going into half, because I believe we get the ball coming out of the second half, and so got a chance to put things on the board again.
And 2 catches, 77 yards for Foster. Davis, 5 of 7 through the air for a $125 and a touchdown. But the defense trying to keep it a 10-point lead. Ward, late pass, and it's broken up. There's Zach Schlager, the senior, in coverage. Had a blanket there against Deshaun Jackson, a freshman wideout from Texas.
A lot of pressure on that quarterback.
Ward in this game, 7 of 12 for 53 yards and a touchdown. He's just not able to complete big passes. Short passing game has worked on occasion, but nothing beyond the sticks for the Riverhawks. 5 seconds on the play clock for 2nd down and 10. Handoff, and there's a huge hole. Bouncing to the outside and heading out of bounds is Blake May. Gets the huge gash, but I think if he had stayed inside, had some more daylight.
Yeah. UNK brought pressure off both edges that time, and I think he was able just to pop through the line. There wasn't much secondary help there. But you're right. I think he could have got maybe another 10 yards.
19 yards as it stands there for the junior back, Blake May. Mentioned that UNK has a lot of new faces. Same for Northeastern State, and probably the same for every football team in the country anymore with the proliferation of transfers. But Northeastern State, lots of new bodies out there as well. Ward hit as he throws, nearly intercepted. The Lopers had double coverage and almost came away with a pick. That was O'Quinn in the area. That was Felton who came in, laid the blow on the back of the quarterback.
As we said earlier, he's not very big, but he's got a motor and he's fast off the edge. So he puts that tackle in a little bit of a bind.
You think he missed football the last 3 years he wasn't playing it?
Right. It's good to have him.
2nd down and 10. And throwing, completing along the right sideline and out of bounds, nearing midfield. Nice connection. Solid-looking receiver in Avery Payne. He's a true freshman, 6'4", 195. They got something in him.
Yeah, they've got some tall receivers. Well, this could be a big 3rd down stop here. It'll be interesting to see if NEO would punt it or try to go for it on 4th down. I think they'll probably punt if they don't get the 1st down.
I don't want to give the Lopers a chance near midfield, I wouldn't think. They need 4 yards to move the chains. Ward steps up.
Good pressure.
Can't get out of the pressure this time. He's sacked. It's Tell Spees getting help from Delonte Dickey. And the Lopers call timeout, their final timeout of the half with 1:10 remaining. Let's get another look at that sack.
Good pressure.
And Spees from the inside. Dickey would have had him if Tell didn't get there first. And the reason why they were able to meet at the quarterback, excellent coverage downfield.
That's right.
So the Lopers will get the football here. They won't have any timeouts. About 1:10, depending on what they get in this punt scenario, could try to add to their 10-point cushion.
Yep.
The Lopers, in their first season under new head coach Ryan Held, gave part of his resume. The time at North Alabama last season was the interim head coach. The athletic director down at North Alabama, former AD at Missouri Central Missouri, one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew Mark Bauer. They talked. That's part of the reason that Held was on the radar.
Right.
Also, many other MIAA programs have considered Coach Held for positions previously and thought of him highly. Part of the reason why Mark Bauer, the athletic director for the University of Nebraska-Kearney, dialed in early on Ryan Held and was able to secure him.
Yep. And Ryan's a Kansas City guy. He's got a lot of history in MIAA territory and has done a pretty good job everywhere he's been.
Bounced snap. Crawford handles it, gets off a great punt, and it's fair caught by Zane Schwung inside the 20-yard line. So the Lopers will see if they are comfortable with this 10-point lead or if they try to get a couple something on some plays to start out this drive. Held, a running back coach by trade, a coordinator by trade, but bounced around everywhere. His specialty is taking over downtrodden programs. This is his first time as a head coach at a program that's had recent success. He's trying to, instead of build something new, continue upon what was already here. A little bit different strategy in how you approach that. Excited to see what Coach Held can do. Davis to pass. A little bit short, but it is caught by Zorian Stanton, his first grab. That rolls the clock. The Lopers can't stop it. They don't have a timeout. Just 3 yards.
That first down play on a 2-minute drive is so critical oftentimes to see what you can do.
Davis was directing traffic, and that ball was uncatchable. I think his target, Foster, was trying to argue maybe for a holding penalty on that play. And now with 41 seconds left, it's likely you run the football here.
Yeah, I would think so. You don't want to give Northeast great field position here, so you probably want to get some time off the clock.
Davis was waving his hand saying, just run deep. My only hope here is to heave it. Worth a try. Brown is the back. He's to the right of Davis. 5 seconds to snap it for the Lopers. Davis tucks it, has space. Davis with the first down. Wrapped up at the 35-yard line. A gain of 14. The clock will stop for the chains to move.
That's a new rule this year. Now the clock is going to start running.
Not within 2 minutes, though.
Oh, that's right.
Davis was hit as he threw, trying to get that one to Reggie Anderson, another wide receiver with promise. Junior out of Gaithersburg, Maryland, but Davis had 2 guys on him as he was trying to spiral that down the left seam. Lots of aggression here from UNK.
Yeah. That was one, I think they might have snapped the ball a little bit too soon. They weren't quite set and ready to go, and I think it played a role in TJ getting some pressure up front.
Underneath pass this time. A little too low. That's 3rd down and 10. He's looking for Jerquan Connors. That 3rd down run call is a pretty safe one because you never know. It's a good call because the quarterback draw, Davis could bust it from anywhere on the field.
For sure.
So
right.
you might as well give him a chance to do it.
Yeah, definitely. And plus you think they're going to play coverage.
Handoff. Scooting through the hole is Hosey.
See if River the Hawks call timeout here.
They're going to take it to half. Unless they call it with 1 second.
Yeah.
Force a punt. Nope, they're going to take it to half.
Take it to the half.
The University of Nebraska Kearney, in its first home game under new head coach Ryan Held, builds a 10-point cushion at halftime. We'll break it down for you at half. In addition, we have a couple of news packages to air. One about new defensive coordinator Tim Schaffner. You'll want to hear this. We mentioned chaos tempo. 1-800-I-GO-FAST. He also has a special look to go through all of that. Plus, how about the world of Nebraska volleyball? UNK, a part of Volleyball Day in Nebraska, and set its own Division II record last week just across campus at the Health and Sports Center. We have coverage of all of that coming up at halftime with the Lopers up 10 on News Channel Nebraska.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with a touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
Dinsdale Automotive is celebrating our 20th anniversary. 20 years of building lifelong relationships. 20 years of providing superior customer experiences. 20 years of supporting the community. For 20 years, we've been building trust and loyalty by treating every customer like family on every visit. We're proud to serve Grand Island and the surrounding areas. Thank you for 20 great years, and we look forward to many more. Help us celebrate 20 years of service. Stop in today.
That is literally the funniest thing ever.
And then I said...
It wasn't, but this guy could use a win. Even if it's not as big of a win as I get with free Kasasa Cash checking. Kasasa Cash pays me a really high rate and refunds ATM withdrawal fees nationwide. So I feel like a queen. Has a mega bank ever made you feel that way? Or is it more like this guy? Take back banking with Kasasa Cash.
Get Kasasa checking at Liberty First Credit Union.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. By Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Region 4 Behavioral Health, quality mental health and substance abuse services.
It's your next step to advance your knowledge, your earning potential, and your career. Where professors invest in you and your success with competitive edge skills building and immersive learning opportunities. Your graduate degree awaits at Northeastern State University.
Ashley's Labor Day sale is your last chance to save big on summer's top styles. Visit your local store to shop Labor Day Hot Buys, all just $5.98 each while supplies last. Shop featured finds starting at only $17 per month or $9.99.99. And with summer coming to a close, you can save up to 50% on outdoor furniture. Plus, we offer special financing options for every budget. Visit your local Ashley stores in Kearney, Grand Island, and North Platte for the best Labor Day furniture deals, only at Ashley.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Order your dream vehicle today with no money down. If you don't love it when it arrives, leave it with absolutely no obligation. We are professional grade at Central Nebraska's premier GM dealer. Midway Chevrolet, Buick GMC in Kearney, or think midway.com/GM.
Classmate.
Oh, he was? Okay.
17-7 the score at halftime. University of Nebraska Kearney in its home opener with the advantage over the Northeastern State Riverhawks, who come here from Tahlequah, Oklahoma. I'm Michael Shifley. Scott Hoffman is with me, and we're about to introduce another coach. That's Tim Schaffner. He's the defensive coordinator, and Scott, I know he comes highly regarded from everyone who knows him, who's pretty much everybody, because the whole college football world wanted to recruit his players when he was at Butler Community College.
Well, Butler Community College is one of the better junior college programs in the Jayhawk, and nationally they've won a lot of games down there, and Tim's done a great job. He's got a Northwest Missouri background. He was a grad assistant there, so he's got great football knowledge, and he's been able to instill a really good mindset amongst the defensive players here.
He was the head coach at Butler and then left for the defensive coordinator job at FCS Idaho State. The head coach at Idaho State bolted after one season, leaving his staff jobless. So Ryan Held, who had worked as the offensive coordinator at Butler a long time ago, had kept that relationship up and was able to get Coach Schaffner here to UNK. Not only does he have a good football background, but he's a unique character. Let's introduce him to you right now.
In Tim Schaffner's defense, there's one rule that trumps all others. You better play fast.
We check our guys running on every play, so when the ball's live and in action, they got to be running. I always tell them that they're never wrong if they're running.
The players on the defensive coordinator's Nebraska Kearney team are hearing him.
Just making sure everyone's just going as fast as they can. We'll learn as we go.
Man, it's fast. Fast and control violence. We want to be out there. We want to get around, get through blocks, do everything just like that.
Schaffner built a brand around his fast defense during his 17 years at Butler Community College in Kansas, first as a coordinator and then as head coach. He calls it chaos tempo.
Chaos tempo is really just no matter what, even if you do something wrong on a play, you're running. Everyone's running. If everyone's running the ball, it's going to work out.
The brand even has a phone number.
1-800, I go fast, yes sir.
Fast is often more closely associated with offenses and the no-huddle systems. Why make it work on defense?
Because defense is about attitude, it's about getting to the quarterback, it's about getting to the ball. It has a lot to do with your mindset every time the ball snaps.
A highly specific brand like Schaffner's requires a highly specific look to go with it. For the coach, that's a long towel and a bucket hat.
I don't have any hair, so I'm bald, so I need the bucket hat. I sweat a lot, so the towel just goes with me, and then it just becomes where you feel naked without it, so it just becomes a piece of the uniform.
The towel, I think it's just a little bit of that JUCO in him, honestly. He's that JUCO coach. He's on at Butler forever, and he's just kind of got these different little swag things about him that he just kind of reps in.
He be out there running around, so he get this swag. He got to have his towel with him, but yeah, that's a little trademark. Yeah, that's how long too it touches the ground when he walks.
Schaffner's unique approach needs buy-in from his players. That's not a problem for the Lopers.
Honestly, off the field, he's one of the chillest guys I know. But on the field, he's going to get after you, but he's going to get after you in a way that you can learn from it. And he's bringing that chaos tempo with him everywhere he goes. So.
In Kearney, Michael Shifley, News Channel, Nebraska.
Schaffner, that's Coach Tim Schaffner with UNK, the defensive coordinator. Chaos tempo, elite speed, 1-800-I-GO fast, and a towel that almost trips him up, but it's with him everywhere he goes.
He's not very tall, so he's got to have a shorter towel, I think. I'm going to talk to Tim and tell maybe I've got one at home I can loan him or something.
And I know that Todd Gatula, the communications director here at UNK, has already offered up a Loper bucket hat. Once he became aware from watching the story that he doesn't have a Loper hat yet, but wears the bucket hat every day.
Right.
Well, it's not just football that's been exciting here at the UNK campus. The volleyball team has been phenomenal for years, but they just set another record, got their own record back. Let's see what happened earlier this week at the Health and Sports Center.
The Lopers are getting used to being record setters. Exactly 1 week after Volleyball Day in Nebraska, UNK volleyball fans packed 4,003 people into the Health and Sports Center for the team's home opener, a new Division II regular season record.
Breaking 2 records in a week, I feel so fortunate that I've been able to be a part of both of them, so I'm just really thankful that I've been here at this time.
Fans came from across the region and lined up early. Many were students like Easton Anderson.
I think that we have good school spirit here and that people come to support.
Many have been fans forever, like Tom McCoy and Ella DeWeese.
It's great entertainment and they're always competitive.
We're great people, great fans, and they're a wonderful team to watch.
The record reflects the fan base's love of the sport and the competitive drive of head coach Rick Squires. Alaska Anchorage drew nearly 3,900 fans last year, beating UNK's previous 26-year-old record.
So I thought, we got to fix this. And it's a big number. I mean, you're asking a lot to get 4,000 people at a home opener in Division II volleyball, but folks in Kearney, they can do anything.
After UNK's 3-set sweep of Peru State, the fans lined up again, this time in the autograph line. That's what hit home for Minden native Jensen Rouse.
It's seriously like the best thing ever. I remember I would be like that same little girl too, wanting autographs, keeping those shirts that are signed and all that stuff. So it just makes our day. We see these girls at summer camps and then they come back and they remember our names.
The program already held the D2 postseason attendance record. Squires says hitting 4K in the regular season is just another testament to the community's unparalleled support.
The regular season record is back in Kearney where it belongs, and it's just a great volleyball town and a program that's done that for a long time.
In Kearney, Michael Shively, News Channel, Nebraska.
And that record just following right on the heels of Volleyball Day in Nebraska, which the Lopers participated in an exhibition match against Wayne State. I was there for that. And tremendous atmosphere, a once-in-a-lifetime type of moment that UNK was a part of. Then the next week they get 4,000 for a home match against Peru State. Tip of the cap to the volleyball program, athletic director Mark Bauer, head coach Rick Squires, and to the UNK fans for showing up. Man, was that impressive. 4K there at the Health and Sports Center. Right now the football team with a 10-point lead. We'll have your halftime highlights after this.
A new year, a fresh start, a resolution to grow more, gain more, give more. The process is the same: plant, grow, harvest. But the way you do it is always evolving. And so are we, Aurora Cooperative. Grow, gain, give. Aurora and you.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back. Sure.
We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes. The wedding bands. We'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
There's a look at Foster Field, Cope Stadium here on the UNK campus. Michael Shively, Scott Hoffman with you. The score at the break is 17-7. It's time for your halftime highlights. Those are brought to you by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items? Currency is here to help. Visit gocurrency.com. And it's T.J. Davis on that opening drive. That's the first play on offense. Finds Sev Foster for the big completion. The next play, Davis around the corner, outran the defense to the sideline. Got a block from a wide receiver for a 19-yard scramble score. But Ben Ward, the quarterback for the Riverhawks, keeps the next drive alive. Northeastern State looking for their first points of the season, and they find it. Ward running out of time off of his back foot, puts it it in the back corner of the end zone, and a terrific catch by Drew Ellerick. And that's the first touchdown in more than 8 quarters for Northeastern State. Pretty impressive way to do it. UNK on offense looking to get the lead back, and they find it over the middle of the field to DJ Gross. This is a different drive now. Davis going deep to Foster for his second big completion. 2 catches for 77 yards. That one a 42-yard touchdown on 3rd and long. And the lead back to UNK. Big run along the right sideline, 19 yards, but Northeastern State's drive eventually ends courtesy of the sack. There's Till Spees. He gets a big bear hug of the quarterback, Ward, and he's fired up about it. Spees likes what he was able to do there, and the defense holding Northeastern State back, just 7 points in that half, and a 10-point cushion with the Lopers set to get the football. We do have our halftime stats. Anything that stands out, Scott, from looking through the totals after a couple of quarters?
Not really. I think that obviously the Northeast offensive production early was pretty impressive, and then they've kind of struggled a little bit lately. But that partly is due to the UNK defense. Obviously, TJ Davis leads the Lopers in rushing, and of course he's done well throwing the football too. So it's about what you'd expect.
So the Lopers have that 10-point cushion. They only led by 7 at halftime last year. Ended up winning it 42-0. Will they turn it on in the second half? We'll find out when we come back to Cope Stadium on News Channel Nebraska.
Our halftime show brought to you by Cunningham's Journal on the Bricks on 23rd Street in downtown Kearney.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
What does farming mean to you? For most, it's hard work, dedication, and livelihood. Unfortunately, that also comes with risk. At Nebraska Crop Insurance in Beatrice, they know the non-stop dedication involved to keep your family protected from that risk and ensure their livelihood. Not only do they know everything about the coverage you need, they're also farmers themselves. So protect what means the most to you with the agent who knows what it means to be a farmer. Nebraska Crop Insurance, 615 Dorsey Street in Beatrice.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com and by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports for more highlights, interviews, rankings, and our full schedule.
From the moment something didn't feel quite right, to that ambulance arriving at your door, from the immediate diagnosis, to the surgery that followed, to the long list of lifestyle changes and that family gathering that everyone always talked about, but for whatever reason kept getting postponed, to the moment you sat back and realized how grateful you are for everything you have. We've been here for you, just around the corner. Columbus Community Hospital.
Feel confident about the used vehicle you're buying with Midway Certified Pre-Owned. Our lowest hassle-free prices every day on a great selection of Midway Certified Pre-Owned Fords, Hondas, Toyotas, and more. Available now at your Midway Auto dealership locations in Kearney or online at thinkmidway.com.
Anything for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more. From little feet to little paws, to updates and overhauls. From soft and cozy to durable and resilient. From something that blends in or something that's different. From DIY to custom install, O Street Carpet can help you with it all. Whatever your needs are for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more.
Women have a 1 in 8 chance for developing breast cancer. Early detection makes a difference. Beatrice Community Hospital's Imaging Center can help with the latest technology, from screening with 3D mammography, breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and breast biopsy. All services conveniently located in the BCH's Imaging Center. Schedule your screening today. Incredible care, incredibly close.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Ready for second half action here at UNK. I'm Michael Shively. Scott Hoffman's with me. Danny Alvarado is leading our crew on an enjoyable evening for football in central Nebraska. There is football happening right now elsewhere in the MIAA, and that's seeing Missouri Western put one on Lincoln. Game being played at Lincoln. Missouri Western up 68-14 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's not really surprising, I don't think. Lincoln struggles. They are leaving the conference now and actually are just playing a few conference games. So,
including here.
Right.
Against the Lopers.
Right.
It was late in the season, wouldn't have been able to find a non-conference opponent to do it. So Lincoln will come here later in the season. But right now, the Lopers focus, taking care of business in the second half, protecting a 10-point lead and taking down Northeastern State. Returnable from inside the 5. Cutting it back to the middle and then thinking better of it. That's Jackson, I believe, back to the 15. It is, and out comes the Loper offense. They'll take over at their own 15. An offense in the first half that was able to move the football to the tune of 232 yards. 104 on the ground, 128 through the air.
Pretty good balance.
Yeah, an average of 5 yards per rush.
Yeah.
Take that.
You bet. Especially when you know, we're really kind of a pass-heavy offense. So if you're averaging 5 yards on the ground per rush, that's going to help a bunch.
Well,
Looked like that could have been a face mask, but I don't think they.
And there's a penalty flag that just came in the middle of the field. That was the Northeastern State player coming over. Might have got some of that face mask. DJ Harris, 5'11", senior defensive end.
Yep.
And no microphone from the official there, but the penalty against Northeastern State moves that football from within their own 20 for the Lopers all the way out to the 30. Penalty flags have certainly benefited UNK in this game. That's now 5 penalties for 47 yards against Northeastern State.
Yeah, and that was a case where that defensive player made a pretty good play. He just didn't finish it and grab the face mask.
Big hole up the middle and a strong finish. Good carry for Jamal Joseph. The sophomore moves the chains, 11 yards on first down.
Jamal's kind of a slasher. He's good up in between the two tackles, and sometimes you just need to pound the thing up inside like that.
Joseph, last season, 28 carries for 186 yards. Had 31 yards against Northeastern. Flip pass, and spinning before he's upended is Reggie Anderson. Anderson didn't have a catch in the first half. I think they just wanted to get him the football and get one of their star wideouts moving forward, and he does so for about 6 yards.
Yeah, he had kind of a big game last week, so it's good to see him get the ball in his hands. He's pretty elusive, as you can see right there.
Lopers go right back to Anderson, this time on the right side, and a first down. Here's another look at the quick bubble screen. Caught that at about shin height.
still made use of it. Anderson, 4 catches for 36 yards last week. Davis motions Joseph out of the backfield, fakes to him, keeps the football, and a penalty flag. 2 penalty flags come down. That's in the area of a penalty against the offensive line.
Probably a hold, yep.
And this will be backed up. Well, penalties not entirely one-sided. The Lopers in the first half, 2 for 10, but now add that 10-yard penalty on top of it. Their third of the ball game. This game is brought to you in part by our friends at Midway Auto Dealerships. You can find them right here in Kearney. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com. 1st and 20 for the Lopers, now on their own side of the 50. That's Stanton who went in motion. Davis, plenty of time. Slings it incomplete. Trying to find a target across the middle in Luke Fletcher.
Good
junior
coverage
tight
by
end.
Northeast on that play. They did a nice job of taking away all the passing lanes.
Luke Fletcher, the 6'6", 240-pounder, the target there. From Hayes, Kansas, went to Butler Community College, played for Tim Schaffner, then came to UNK, but believe he was here last year, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So he did not come because of Coach Schaffner. He just happens to be back on the same roster with his former junior college head coach. 2nd down and 20, a handoff, and Brown fights forward for a couple. It'll be 3rd down and about 17 for the Lopers.
Yeah, that penalty, that high-low block, that chop block penalty by UNK really put us behind the sticks. Now, big 3rd down here.
And going again with the empty set 5 wide receiver look. Northeastern State crowding the line. They bring 4. It's picked up. The pass is dropped. Right on the target to Sean Ross. He hadn't been targeted yet and was thinking about his move to try to get the extra 6 yards needed for the 1st down, and it went off of his knee, incomplete.
That's a good throw by TJ. Sean just got to haul that in.
So the Lopers to punt. They'll do so from their own 31. The punter is Hunter Kraus, the senior from Sargent. One of the best in the country, and that's a good punt there. Fielded from the 13, nice return, big hole up the middle. Clocked at the 33, but not before he got a lot of yardage back. Devin Blaney, sophomore, 5'9", 170 from Lee Summit, Missouri. Planted onto his back, but sets his team up with good field position.
Definitely. It was kind of a line drive punt. Hunter usually gets pretty good hang time, and our coverage gunners just kind of overran it.
I believe that was Lilly that came in for the stick. So the first time the Riverhawks offense is out this half. They have the 1 touchdown, but have struggled to get much of a rushing attack going consistently in the first half. Ward has a lateral. Pretty good speed on the edge for Tag Campbell. He's a true freshman from Tulsa. 5'10", 180-pounder, gets a couple yards.
There was a good example of Coach Schaffner's philosophy, though. Parker Wise, number 44, he chased him down and he was running hard.
98 first half yards is all for Northeastern State, 60 through the air. Ward was 7 of 13. Ellerick did come in for a couple of snaps. Little sidearm toss. Ben Ward completes it, but there's not much room. That's thanks to the strong defense played by UNK. Parker Wise, redshirt freshman, getting lots of time.
Two plays in a row now. Very good. Excellent job hustling from sideline to sideline.
If he stays at UNK his whole career, stays healthy and gets playing time, it'll be fun to think, how many times in a 9-year stretch did you suit up and play at this football field?
Yeah, right.
Kearney High School shares Foster Field, Cope Stadium with UNK. 3rd down and 8. Ward under pressure, another sidearm toss. This time the screen is perfectly executed, and it's Tag Campbell running for a first down for the Riverhawks.
That was a great call by Northeast offensive staff there. UNK brought pressure, and Northeast knew it was coming and ran a little screen play, and it worked out for a pretty good first down.
But Ward is kind of dropping his arm angle here, second half. Situationally, it still was delivering a good football.
Yeah, changes the arm slots for sure.
Now out of the heavy pistol set, the screen pass, left side, that's Ellerick. Scoots forward, and that's a late hit. In trouble for the Lopers on the far sideline, kept going after that play was well out of bounds.
UNK needs to gain a little bit of composure here. Northeast is running an offensive series much like their touchdown drive, just short passes, moving the ball around a little bit to different people, and we can't afford to get a 15-yard roughing penalty.
Yeah, Seth Holt over there in coverage. UNK hoping they can put this one away sooner than later in this game, but Northeastern State, they came here meaning business. A team that 56-0 last week, and Coach Held preaching when we talked to him on the radio this week. We could not scoreboard watch. You can't assume because they got smoked last week that they'll do that again, and they're certainly fighting hard today.
They are, and they're showing a lot of resilience. I'm sure their coaches worked really hard this week to try to get the ship righted a little bit, and so far they're playing right with the UNK.
Tag Campbell getting a lot of action to start out this half. He didn't catch a pass or run the football. I didn't see him in often in the first half, but Campbell featured on this drive. Campbell last week, 6 carries for just 12 yards. And that carry, he got stuffed. Less than 10 seconds to snap it for Northeastern State. 5 seconds on the play clock. Ward fakes to nobody, has a defender behind him, goes down the right side. It's caught but out of bounds. The coverage by David Lilly, and it was Will Bergner, the sophomore, with the target. Almost a big play for the Riverhawks.
Very similar to the touchdown pass that was thrown in the first half there. On the run, nice ball delivered by the quarterback, Ward, and pretty good catch, just happened to be out of bounds.
This is right on the edge, probably beyond field goal range right now. But if the Riverhawks can get about 5 yards, they'd probably feel comfortable with Crawford, a good kicker. 3 seconds on the play clock. Ward from the left hash. Stands strong in the pocket, but his ball is delivered off target, off of the left hand of the freshman. He was trying to get it back to Avery Payne. Now it's 4th down and 10 from the 32 of UNK, which is no man's land.
Looks like they're bringing in a kicking team.
You may recognize this name if you're a Nebraska football follower. Tyler Crawford was on the University of Nebraska roster for a couple of seasons under Scott Frost out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Never really got in. Timeout taken by UNK. They didn't have the correct situation in special teams. Might have had too many guys. They take timeout ahead of the Crawford field goal try. We'll step aside with the Lopers holding a 10-point advantage in the third quarter.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil, your first and last stop to and from the game. By USafe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
Crawford last season 3 for 5 from 50 plus. This is a 49-yard try. The snap was bobbled. The kick is up and wide to the right. Had good distance, but did not have the straight arrow needed for the kicker from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. So the second missed field goal of the game, one on each side, evens that out, and the Lopers have the football now, hoping to get the first points of the second half.
Right. Yeah, the snap looked like it came back a little low. The holder actually did a pretty good job of getting it out.
Yeah, he really did. I don't think it affected it.
No, I don't think it did either. He probably just pushed it a little bit.
8-play, 35-yard drive, no points for Northeastern State. 8 minutes, 21 seconds remaining. Quarter number 3 on your Midway Auto Dealerships scoreboard. Michael Shively, Scott Hoffman with you. We mentioned the other game going on right now is Missouri Western against Lincoln, and the Griffins are going to take that game. Another game earlier today. How about this score? Central Missouri 41, Central Oklahoma 17. Remember, UCO is the team that beat the Lopers 24-21 last week, but they got run by the Mules today.
Well, the kind of the word out was that Central Missouri was going to be much improved this year. I think they got an FCS quarterback. I don't know where he's from, but he must be doing a pretty good job there. So they've scored some points the last 2 weeks.
Josh Lamberson is the head coach there, former UNK head coach, now with the Mules. There were 3 games on Thursday night. Missouri Southern took care of Washburn 30-23. Some might view that as an upset, but watch out for Moso. They mean business. Emporia State showed they're one of the top teams in the country with a 33-13 vanquishing of Northwest Missouri State. And Pittsburgh State upended Fort Hays 40-14. Remember, Fort Hays is the team that put 56 on Northeastern State last week. Deep ball in and out of the hands. Davis put it right on the money, but Reggie Anderson couldn't haul it in. Penalty flag on the UNK sideline, and Ryan Held is pointing towards the Northeastern State huddle.
That was a great throw by TJ. It was right on the money. Good coverage by Northeast. And TJ had a lot of pressure in his face, and that was a well-thrown football.
The offense backing up here. This penalty is on the UNK sideline. We'll see what the ruling is. Away from the play. It's against the Lopers.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
5-yard penalty against UNK. That's the third penalty against the Lopers offense this quarter. Just on the second drive. First down and 15 after the penalty. They took a deep shot on the first play of this possession. See what Colby Ellis dials up here. Ellis has intersected with Held at a couple of stops previously. Davis goes deep again, right sideline, diving for it, and just past Cole Brown's reach. Well, it seems that UNK likes the matchup along the right sideline. They just haven't hit yet.
Yeah, definitely. They're trying to pick on that corner over there for sure. It's 2 deep balls in a row. Both of them pretty well thrown. Both of them could have been caught.
Brown heads to the sideline. Cole Brown, 3 catches for 84 yards and a touchdown last week. Second down and 15 for the Lopers. Davis shuffles up in the pocket. He wants to run with it. Has it to the 35 and more. There's a first down for TJ Davis, scrambling to the 45-yard line, managing 18 yards on the scramble.
UNK needs to be very careful down here. There's a little bit of a scuffle between Reggie Anderson and one of the Northeast defensive backs. The last thing you want to do is get a 15-yard penalty on an unsportsmanlike conduct.
This game still very much in the balance. UNK clinging to a 10-point cushion. It was tied 7-all. The Lopers have controlled since then. Davis with the stutter step gets to the sideline untouched and manages between 2 and 3 yards on the first down carry. 7:17 left in the third quarter, which is brought to you by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of pain, not just the symptoms. And health stoppage.
Number 52 for Northeast. He chased TJ out of bounds, and then he dropped down. I think he must be cramping up a little bit.
And that's D'Amico Warren, 6'2", 230 senior from St. Louis. And he'll skip off to the opposite sideline. UNK will have 2nd and 8. We talk about penalties, Scott, and a focus for Ryan Held is to have as few penalties as possible. That's part of his motto. DDT, disciplined, detailed, tough. Those are the foundational values that he wants to have for his program. You see DDT printed everywhere, the hashtag on Twitter, and part of that is as few penalties as possible. Here's Davis with time in the pocket, throws behind his target. Anderson unable to go back towards the football, and the incompletion leaves 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, Ryan is Coach Held is really into the discipline part of it. And when you bring in a lot of new players, that can be a challenge a little bit to try to get everybody to play on the same level and with the same mindset. And I think so far they've done a pretty good job.
They've embraced DDT as a team. On defense, they've embraced chaos tempo. Now trying to convert on 3rd down at the middle of the field where their previous drive stalled. Johnson motioned out of the backfield. Pressure comes. Davis in trouble. Still trying to keep the play alive. Goes deep with it. Coming back to the football and making the grab. The Lopers have it with Trey Moore. Moore inside the 10-yard line. Trayvon Moore, the junior out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, makes the enormous grab for the Lopers.
That was a great play by TJ Davis there because he was in a lot of pressure. He was able to scramble around a little bit, set his feet, throw the ball down, and it was a good catch by Trayvon.
A 44-yard completion. You know, what I was thinking when he was rolling out was, throw the ball away, throw it away. Not TJ Davis. He trusts his legs to keep every play alive, and that time he was able to find his target, Trey Moore.
And oftentimes when you have an athlete like TJ Davis, just the ability to scramble allows receivers to open up because defenders lose track of what's going on out there.
And the huge completion, the first of his UNK career, that goes to Trey Moore. Okay, Johnson's at quarterback here. Sean Johnson at quarterback, throwing towards Davis, incomplete. Good coverage on the far sideline. Credit to Partee. Marion Partee has been everywhere today. That was the backup quarterback who's come in as a running back or receiver multiple times, Sean Johnson Jr. They split Davis out wide to the right and tried to get TJ in the corner of the end zone.
Little wrinkle by the Lopers there. I think it's got a lot of merit. It just didn't work out that time.
Really good coverage.
Yeah,
pretty good ball. Pretty good route. Now they're going to try to go the old-fashioned way. Davis, we never really had the connection there. Looking for Moore, who just had the big grab, and I don't think Trayvon ever saw that football.
No, it looked like he was trying to run a little bit of an angle route and maybe was a little flat on his route. TJ tried to take him to the back of the end zone. It just didn't work out that way.
Zane Schwong enters at running back. DJ Gross is out there at tight end. The Lopers trying to get 6 out of this drive. It's gone 60 yards so far. Davis to run for it. Up the middle, and he plows forward into the end zone. You can't stop TJ Davis when he gets a head of steam, and the second rushing touchdown of the game for the Star senior quarterback.
Pretty easy call.
Quarterback draw.
Everybody playing the receivers, and he had good blockers in front of him. It was an easy run for TJ. That was a big touchdown.
Provides additional separation. Now a 16-point lead, trying to make it 17. Hines for the point after try. Nails it. And it's 24-7 on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard after the TJ Davis touchdown. The Lopers kick off with 5:54 left in the third quarter. Next.
UNK is a place where quality education meets hands-on learning, and going the extra mile gets rewarded. It's a place where you can put yourself out there, reach your goals, and set new ones you never thought of. And
my dad's addiction and death from overdosing on opioids has taught me it's likely that everybody knows somebody who is struggling with this very problem. Losing my mentor, my best friend, he took one pill too many that ultimately killed him.
Michael Shively, Scott Hoffman with you. In the distance, you can see a green tower. Not right now, but maybe you've seen on some of our shots. That's a zip line that goes back into the fun zone next to the scoreboard. So get yourself to Cope Stadium sometime this season. Try out that new feature, the zip line, at a football game. Provides a pretty good view from up there, too.
I'll bet it does. That's good stuff. I think UNK's event staff does a great job. They've got so much stuff going on at this stadium. It's just a great atmosphere.
17-point lead after the TJ Davis rushing touchdown. The Lopers make that 6 for 11 on third down this game. That's a percentage that you take every time as a head coach, and 2 of their touchdowns come on third down. Shifty move back, returning that football by Deshaun Jackson, but eventually spun down right at the 20.
Pretty good coverage by UNK on that kickoff. He kind of bounced off of a couple of guys, but that secondary wave did a good job.
The Lopers, we were talking, Scott, that last drive really showed their athleticism, perhaps their athleticism advantage in this game. A couple of big plays made by the legs of the quarterback and some athletic wideouts.
Without a doubt. And when you have a patchwork offensive line, those athletes that are out there really help.
2 third down conversions purely made by TJ Davis. Swing pass to the left side is technically a lateral. Again, it's Tag Campbell, who's been a featured part of this Northeastern State offense. Had a good 6-yard gain on first down. The head coach for Northeastern State is J.J. Eckert. He's in his 5th season, has struggled to get much traction, but it was like that before he arrived. 10 years in the MIAA, more than 100 losses for this Northeastern State program, and might have just been tripped up by themselves on that carry. No gain, third down and 4.
Coach Eckert is the son of longtime Northeast coach Tom Eckert, who had a tremendous amount of success at Northeast Oklahoma, and JJ played there and has had a pretty good coaching career himself. So coming back to his hometown, I'm sure there's a little bit of pressure there to succeed, but I think he's building the program. They are playing much more competitive than they have.
And Coach Ryan Held really singing the praises of Coach Eckert. They've gone against each other previously at other stops, and Coach Held thinks very highly of Eckert. That completion does go for a first down for Northeastern State. And Scott alluded to it, but going back to his hometown, the Tahlequah native, then he played quarterback at Northeastern State, was on the roster when they won an NAIA national championship in 1994. They were runners-up on 95. So talk about a local star, the starting quarterback at the high school and the college, and now the head coach at the college.
Right, yeah, that's, kind of a legacy.
But he has not beaten UNK. The Lopers have won 5 straight in this series and are 5-1 here in this building all time against the Riverhawks. And there is big defensive, is that Mr. Mattina down there with the stop?
Yes, Stephen
Mattina. It is. 6'5", 360-pound junior. That clogs up the middle.
And now we've got C.J. Sinai in there with Steven. That's 2 pretty good defensive tackles.
C.J. Sinui brings some size too. 6'3", 310 pounds. Some big boys in the middle of that defense, and there's some that aren't suited up for this game that have some serious size too. Ward throwing, barely gets that connection to Ellerick, who crosses midfield. That's a 20-yard gain. It was almost disastrous, but somehow Ellerick found his way behind the coverage man to haul that in.
That's a well-thrown football right on the seam. When you throw that inside seam right, you have to put it on a line, and he did a good job.
In coverage there for UNK was Travis Hall, the 6'2", 195-pound junior linebacker. Almost went off of his back, but well done. Trick play, passing again. It's caught, breaking a tackle into open space down the right sideline into the red zone, and tripped up within the 10-yard line is Devin Blaney. That pass coming from Will Bergner, who attempted a pass earlier today. It was incomplete. This one goes for the huge gain after he slipped the tackle of David Lilly.
Yeah, the previous time they ran that play, they had an open receiver and he just dropped it. So usually you don't see a trick play run more than one time in a game. So good call by the Northeast coaches.
First down and goal from the 8. Man, that was close to stepping out of bounds. Blaney might have even been on the line a few yards before he was marked actually down. Big hole along the left side, breaking the tackle. Tag Campbell finds Patert, and the Riverhawks with the response to the Lopers.
That was a pretty good drive by Northeast there. They could have easily down by 17. They could have kind of shut it down a little bit, and they came right back.
An 80-yard drive. A flag is in the end zone, likely after the play.
Once again on that drive, they did a lot of different things. It's kind of been their deal tonight. When they mix things up, show a lot of different plays and formations and that kind of stuff, they've done pretty well.
It looked like the penalty was against Northeastern State, and Coach Held electing to take that penalty on the kickoff, not on the point after try. And that is what will happen. That will be enforced on the kickoff. So here's Crawford, the left-footed kicker. Got to step a little early there, but did send it right through the uprights to make it a 10-point game once again. 1 minute and 44 seconds left on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard in the third quarter. The Lopers back on offense next.
From the moment something didn't feel quite right, to that ambulance arriving at your door. From the immediate diagnosis, to the surgery that followed, to the long list of lifestyle changes and that family gathering that everyone always talked about, but for whatever reason kept getting postponed, to the moment you sat back and realized how grateful you are for everything you have. We've been here for you, just around the corner. Columbus Community Hospital.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Kicking off from the 20 after the unsportsmanlike penalty against the Riverhawks, but they get the big touchdown courtesy of Tag Campbell. Campbell's first touchdown because he's a true freshman. An all-state selection at the District 3A level. He was the MVP of that district at Metro Christian Academy in Tulsa. Tulsa, not too far from Tahlequah. Good piece of recruiting by J.J. Eckert to get Campbell, and he has looked good since he's been the featured back to start the second half.
Boy, you talk about a change of events, though, here. So Northeast gets an unsportsmanlike conduct, a 15-yard penalty that's assessed on the kick, and then the kicker kicks the ball out of bounds. So now UNK is going to get the ball on, I believe, the plus 45-yard line. If not,
they're going to make him re-kick it. Because that would it have just been at the 35?
No, I think they assess it. I may be mistaken, but I thought they assessed it with the penalty.
Okay, 5-yard
penalty. 5-yard penalty, so, okay.
Yeah, so the Lopers will be getting the football, and they will have good field position. And they're going to need to keep scoring points. The Riverhawks, I'm quite impressed. Again, a team that won one game last year. They've really had trouble getting anything going as a team. And we were told much improved heading into this season. And really they were at the end of last season too. The Lopers only had that 7-point lead at half, ended up winning comfortably 42-zip. But they got better over the season last year. And despite that lopsided defeat last week, this is a competent football team. This is a hard-playing football team right now, and they have some young talent. I'd say the future certainly forecast more than one-win seasons in the
future. I would agree with that, and it's really good for the conference as a whole to see Northeast have some success because...
Davis loses the football. He set it right on the carpet. An alert offensive lineman falls on it and saves that play.
Yeah, that could have been disastrous.
I believe it was Wyatt Marr who fell on that football. And Davis tries to spin away, does, but loses the ball. It was not Wyatt.
It's Zane Schwang.
Yeah, Zane Schwang, the running back, fell.
Way to be alert, Zane.
Loss of 10 on the play. Davis was in trouble there and couldn't elude it, then almost handed it on a silver platter to the Riverhawks. Talk about them playing hard. Evidence of it right there. Lopers up 2 possessions, but not comfortable with it yet. Davis to run. Does not get back to the original line of scrimmage. Gets about 6 yards. It'll be 3rd and 14.
Well, they definitely put UNK behind the sticks there.
But they've been tremendous on 3rd down this half and this game. Better than 50% completion percentage at 6 for 11 with a couple of huge gashes on 3rd, and they'll try to do it again here. Need 14 yards to move the chains.
Trayvon Moore's back in at a slot, and he's got kind of a mismatch with the guy that's covering him.
Davis is looking left, still looking, running out of time. Hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. And the Lopers will have to punt it away after getting good field position.
Good pressure by Northeast on that. They've kind of taken some momentum here a little bit from the UNK.
Well, they certainly have. Had good coverage as well. Davis was staring down the left side where he had a few receivers at work, but didn't deem any of them open enough to throw it. So here's Kraus. Again, he's been a team captain before, and Hunter, a all-conference pick, and some think he should be All-American at punter. See what he unloads here. A high wobbler that's fair caught at the 32. Not a huge one uncorked by Kraus there. And pretty good field position at the 32 for Northeastern State. And just a 35-yard punt.
Better hang time that time,
Yes.
but he didn't get much distance.
Loper defense trying to make a play. Have not been able to force a turnover yet today. But in terms of yardage, have been pretty good.
Hopefully, Coach Schaffner was able to put some adjustments together to kind of get them off the field this time.
Handoff on first down. And bouncing to the outside, finding a little space is May. And check that, really didn't actually end up finding any space.
No.
Shut down on the outside by Armani Webster. And we should mention that Grant Ellerick is now in at quarterback, not Ben Ward. Ward's numbers 12 of 20 for 95 yards and a touchdown. And on the ground, had a couple of nice carries that went for 18 yards. That takes us to the end of the quarter, still very much in the balance. Nebraska-Kearney 24, Northeastern State 14. The final period on the other side.
Whether we're talking commercial or residential plumbing, Lamel Plumbing is the place you call. Lamel provides 24-hour emergency service as well. Call them if you get in a tight spot. And as for their retail items, well, you got to check out some of their faucets, some of their kitchen items, and some of their bathroom items like their Onyx showers. And hey, say you got a digging job, you call Lamel Plumbing for that too. They've added a full-time crew for you, doing backhoe, trenching, and sewer work. Take that digging job off your list and have Lamel do it for you. That's Lamel Plumbing in Beatrice, now at their new location on North 7th Street in Beatrice.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Tom Dinsdale Auto. Celebrating 20 years, Tom Dinsdale Auto is proud to be community-driven. And by News Channel Nebraska. Check us out on Twitter at NCN Sports.
We have an exciting fourth quarter on tap here at Foster Field at Cope Stadium in Kearney, Nebraska. 24-14 the score on the Midway Auto Dealership's scoreboard. UNK has the lead, but the momentum with the visitors from Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Northeastern State, winners of just one game last season, are hanging around against the Lopers. But a new quarterback is out there in Grant Ellerick. He did come in for a couple snaps in the first half and was 1 for 2 passing, but Ben Ward had just led this offense on an 80-yard touchdown drive. A little puzzling to see a new quarterback come in at this point.
Yeah, I don't know if that was something that was planned by the Northeast coaches or if there's something going on with Ben Ward or they just decided they needed a fresh face in there or not, but it is a little bit puzzling.
Scanning the sideline right now, trying to see Ward. Ward is standing with his helmet off the far reaches of that sideline. Only good run to start out the quarter. They found some room for Blake May, who was shut down almost entirely in the first half. But May, following in the footsteps of Campbell, unloads a solid run to midfield.
Yeah, Northeast is, as we said, they have the momentum, and right now they're doing a pretty good job of running an offense.
This is where UNK needs its defense to come up with a stop and bring some calm back to the Loper side. Handoff again. May breaks one tackle, cuts back to midfield, and loaded up at the Loper insignia after a gain of about 5 or 6. He'll unstack the mass of humanity. It was Joko Willis with the tackle. We'll talk about this one afterwards. Looking forward to that conversation with Ryan Held. He hopes he'll be talking after getting his first win as head coach. That interview will be brought to you by Sarpy County Tourism. Plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com. Ellerick with May behind him in the pistol. It's play action. Ellerick puts it right on the money, sprinting down the right sideline with a head of steam. That was Will Bergner on the reception. And it goes for another huge Riverhawks gain.
They've done a nice job with that bootleg pass, and in that case, Joko Willis was just a step behind the well-thrown football. Bergner made a great catch and took it down the sideline for a big play.
31-yard gain. That ball had to be right on the money because Willis was with him.
Yep.
And it was delivered like a dart. So Ellerick in off of the bench with some fine plays. Blitz comes. It doesn't get home. In and out of the hands. There was nobody near Drew Ellerick. He would have been able to stumble in for 6, but couldn't secure the football.
That was a blown coverage by UNK. They brought a blitz, and whoever was on Ellerick just missed him.
Now those are brothers. Grant
Looked like Trey
Ellerick.
O'Gwen might have had him and just got beat.
That's Grant Ellerick throwing to Drew Ellerick. They're juniors out of Stroud, Oklahoma. Small town to the east of Oklahoma City. 2nd down and 10 in the red zone. The Lopers clinging to that 10-point cushion, hoping to keep it there. Slipping through one tackle and then finding a couple of yards is May. It'll be 3rd down and a long 7, maybe 8. Into the game for the Loper defense, C.J. Sanui. Chris Valdez also along the line.
Chris Valdez had a chance for a loss, tackle for a loss on that play. Just missed him. That was a good run by Drake May.
And Dickey is the edge rusher on the left side for that defense. 3rd down and 7. Ellerick with pressure from David Lilly, can't escape it. And the Lopers get the big play on 3rd down.
Brought David Lilly on a blitz that time from the edge, and that was a great job by David making initial contact. I don't know who wrapped him up afterwards. I think it might have been Delonte.
And Lilly timed that perfectly. The junior from Bishop Neumann High School in Wahoo, and Delonte Dickey helps clean it up. That forces this field goal try of 39 yards from Tyler Crawford. Trying to make it a 7-point game. The kick is up, and it's good. Crawford drills it, and it's 24-17. UNK's defense forces the field goal, but the Riverhawks send it through. It's a 7-point game with 11:24 left on the Midway Auto Dealership scoreboard.
UNK is a place where quality education meets hands-on learning, and going the extra mile gets rewarded. It's a place where you can put yourself out there, reach your goals, and set new ones you never thought possible. Be yourself, but develop the best version of you. Let us show you what you're made of. Be blue, be gold, be bold. Apply now to the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Learn more at unk.edu.
Order your dream vehicle today with no money down. If you don't love it when it arrives, leave it with absolutely no obligation. We are professional grade at Central Nebraska's premier GM dealer, Midway Chevrolet Buick GMC in Kearney, or thinkmidway.com/GM.
Welcome back here to UNK football on News Channel Nebraska TV. You better get used to it, too. Every home game here on NCN. I believe our 7th year of coverage. We'll be back at it on the 16th. That's next Saturday. UNK host Missouri Southern, and they're hoping to do so with a 1-1 record. Searching for that first win of the season after the heartbreaking 3-point loss at UCO last week, and getting everything you could ask for from Northeastern State, who just punched through an impressive field goal to make it a 7-point affair.
Yeah, they definitely have the momentum right now. UNK needs to do something with this football, at least get some first downs and change the field position as much as you can.
They did get a good return last week from Connors, a 42-yard kick return. We'll see if the special teams can spark something. Here's Jackson from about the 9. Jackson to the 25, 30. Jackson to the 35. Brought down from behind at the 40. He didn't see the tackler, couldn't put on a move, but still a strong return before he's brought to the grass by Michael Morton. About a 33-yard return for Jackson, his second nice one of the game.
Definitely.
That helps with the field position situation. So out comes the Lopers offense. Jamal Joseph is the running back, standing behind MIAA Player of the Year twice, TJ Davis, the sixth-year quarterback.
UNK is really just struggling to run the ball up inside tonight, and I think part of that has to do with the patchwork offensive line. They've got some guys in there playing that are playing different positions and aren't quite used to being on the field, and it definitely shows when UNK just tries to run or establish the inside run.
It's been a struggle for the last couple of seasons to run with the running back.
Right.
Just 27 rushing yards by someone besides Davis last week. This week, not too much different, at least yet. On 2nd down and 10, Davis keeps, it's a triple option, cuts up field, and gets near the first down marker.
And of course, anybody that's watched UNK the last 2 years knows that those types of plays are what TJ Davis does the best. I mean, he's probably the best in the country at the Division II level at doing that kind of stuff.
So creative with his option runs. And he'll cut the opposite direction you think he's going to go. 3rd and 1, he's under center, getting a good push and getting the first down, a couple of yards out of it into Northeastern State territory. And I think more than anything, it's a good signal play that your offensive line can get a push. And after not getting a 4th and 1 QB sneak last week, you can do it on 3rd and 1 this week.
Definitely. They lowered their shoulders, got underneath there, and drove the ball pretty well.
Davis now with 89 rushing yards on this game, so he has moved into 2nd place all time on the Loper rushing charts. Looks to his right, now thinking about running. Breaks out to the outside, and that creativity nets 3 yards. Sometimes his 3 or 4 yard carries are some of the ones that are the most impressive.
I just watch the poor defensive guys in space try to tackle him one-on-one. It's virtually impossible. 44 had a pretty good line on him right there, and there was no doubt that he was going to miss that tackle.
He has no fear either.
No.
I mean, most people would be panicking when that first lane wasn't open and he stayed in the pocket, instead bounced it outside. 2nd down and 6, keeping it in the signal caller's hands, and this time he can't find any room. Macarios Brown, the sophomore linebacker from Shreveport, unloads on the quarterback. Did get a couple yards. Davis fell forward. It's 3rd down and about 4.
It would really be beneficial if UNK can get a first down here and just keep the drive alive. It's going to take time off the clock, plus it continues to change the field a little bit.
Given it's a 1-possession game, likely not 4-down territory. Handoff, Joseph. Joseph has a good hole, gets to the marker for a first down. A 4-yard gain for the sophomore back.
That was some reminiscence of last year's offense right there. A little triple option with the dive back and then the pitch relationship with the receiver coming in motion.
Really nice job by that offensive line. Guys playing out of position, including your right tackle, Hunter Hayes, who's an All-American at guard. But he's out there at right tackle today.
And James Kent, who was a defensive lineman to start the year, is starting his 2nd game in the offensive line.
He's at right guard.
Last week he played tackle. This week he's playing right guard and doing a pretty good job.
You know, you're answering the call. Good catch by Joseph there, and he found the edge for a first down. But that offensive line, that selfless play.
Absolutely, yeah. And especially for James, he was an offensive lineman 2 springs ago, played defensive line last year, back to the O-line again after some injuries this year. And talk about a young man that's unselfish. It's good to see him get on the field and make some things happen.
No wide receivers to the right. Now Joseph swaps over to that side, and he's tripped up right away. Falls down at the line of scrimmage. Second and about 10 as 5 new defenders rush onto the field for the Riverhawks. 6.5 minutes left in this fourth quarter, which is brought to you by Visit Lincoln. See and experience all that Lincoln has to offer. Discover more at lincoln.org. Joseph staying in the game at back. Triple option. Davis keeps. Late pitch. It's caught and falling forward for some extra yardage is Sev Foster. Foster gets to the 23. That's just a gain of a couple. Third down and about 6, maybe 5.
It's good to see UNK, though. They're eating a lot of clock. They've changed the field position. They're kind of owning the line of scrimmage right now, so to speak. So hopefully they can come away with some points here on this drive.
Gabe Hines is 1 for 2 as the field goal kicker. Joseph cuts back, finds some space, and he'll be near the line to gain. It appears he's at the line to gain. That moves the sticks.
That's a huge play right there. Great cut by Jamal Joseph.
And Joseph, who came in as the number 2 back on the depth charts, is getting the nod ahead of Brown here on this critically important drive.
As I mentioned earlier, I think Jamal's strength is inside the tackles, and so with you running some triple option where he's kind of the dive back, that's his forte.
A couple of third down conversions this possession. Davis and company bleeding that clock as much as they can, now firmly in field goal range in this one possession game. And I think they got moving early.
Yeah.
Might have been Joseph at running back.
That's an unfortunate penalty, but still, you've got first down. You can run a lot of clock here.
Erases the firmly in field goal range comments.
Yeah.
The Lopers want more than 3, though.
Definitely.
The clock now, they can run additional time off of the clock here after that penalty. Drive that's now 10 plays and 40 yards. Davis with 2 seconds, snaps it, runs it, bounces outside. He's inside the 20, but not much more than that. Gets 3 yards, make it 4, 5, back to the original line of scrimmage, second down and 10. And the clock runs.
Something that was important there was that TJ did stay in bounds and made that clock run. Now the Riverhawks have 3 timeouts, but eventually they might have to start burning timeouts here.
That's a great point on staying in bounds. That's a veteran quarterback move, too.
Yes.
A guy that's played a lot of football and played a lot of football on this field. One of the best to ever do it for UNK. With Foster in motion. Throws out to Foster out of his fingertips. He's had a nice connection with Sev today.
Yep.
Put some good mustard on that, and he couldn't handle it.
I think he might have scored if he caught that football. At least been down probably first and goal.
That was a pretty play.
Yes.
In terms of design. The X and O fanatics would like that look from Colby Ellis. Third down and 11 for the Lopers at the 17 of Northeastern State, holding on to that 7-point cushion. Have to be smart on this one because you're in field goal range. Davis to run it, cuts back, has open space. TJ Davis to the goal line, just short of the end zone, down inside of the 1-yard line. A 16-yard run for Davis on 3rd and 11. And when you can call QB draw on 3rd and 11 and be confident that you can get it, you got special talent back there.
When that play first developed, I didn't think there was any way he was going to get a first down. It's just, TJ is just something special. And here's a situation, this new rule where the clock starts is actually a benefit to UNK. Because, now they can just keep running clock if they want to.
Clock used to stop after first downs.
Definitely.
Now it only does that in the final 2 minutes of the game. Joseph gets the carry, and Jamal Joseph finds his way into the end zone, and the Lopers are back up 2 scores late in this fourth quarter.
That was a great drive by UNK. Colby Ellis did a great job of calling plays. They took time off the clock. They were deliberate. They got the offensive line going a little bit. The run game got going a little bit. That's a excellent exclamation point to this game.
3 third-down conversions, a 14-play, 60-yard drive, and now for the point-after try, Hines nails it, and it's 31-17. The lead is back to 14 points for UNK. They like where they sit with 2:40 left in the game.
Life is a wild ride. It's important to have a trusted partner along the way. Liberty First Credit Union exists to provide its members with affordable financial services. Whether it is a large purchase, a new car or home remodel, overcoming obstacles, or chasing your dreams, financing life is what we do best. Give us a call or visit libertyfirstcu.com.
Tom Dinsdale Automotive is celebrating our 20th anniversary. 20 years of building lifelong relationships. 20 years of providing superior customer experiences. 20 years of supporting the community. For 20 years, we've been building trust and loyalty by treating every customer like family on every visit. We're proud to serve Grand Island and the surrounding areas. Thank you for 20 great years, and we look forward to many more. Help us celebrate 20 years of service. Stop in today.
What you do on third down often has a big bearing on the outcome of a game, and UNK today, 10 for 16 on third down efficiency. And I was wrong, I said 3 third down conversions that drive. It was actually 4 third down conversions in one drive, and it could end up being the decisive drive in the game.
That was impressive, really was. And they a couple of those third downs were long yardage situations, and the Lopers were able to pull it out. Of course, the quarterback for UNK is a guy that just makes a lot of stuff happen, and he's so difficult to defend.
That drive was a lot of let's let TJ make plays.
Without a doubt.
It wasn't let's throw the ball downfield, or there were some handoffs to the running back, but a lot of those were option plays too. It was let TJ Davis cook, and boy did he. A hurdle for the Northeastern State return man, and Jackson does a nice job getting across the 30 with 2.5 minutes left in this game. Northeastern State will need to move in a hurry. There is a Loper that's down back at the 45-yard line. And I think that's Failing.
Yeah, it looks like it was the kicker.
It's Kyle Failing.
Kind of, he was running down there,
That is the kicker, the kickoff specialist for the Lopers. He had won the job for place kicker overall out of camp, did not kick a field goal last week, made all of his extra points, but this week Gabe Hines was featured as the starting kicker, and now Failing was still down on the field after that kickoff. He does excel at the kick. He's quite the good kickoff specialist.
He's a very good kickoff guy. It looks like he might be a little ginger on his leg, but hopefully we won't need him again tonight.
So 2 minutes, 32 seconds remaining on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard. We mentioned TJ Davis quite a bit. He has moved up the record books. Needed 65 rush yards to surpass Rustin Dring to become UNK's second all-time leading rusher. He succeeded in doing that today. Davis needed 24 yards over, or rather 24 passing yards to become the fourth Loper QB to surpass 5,000 passing yards in his career. And he did that today also. So TJ Davis, his name is everywhere in the record books, and it keeps moving up the charts. Pass over the seam is batted down. Good coverage by the Lopers, and that's Devin Gouja, the junior transfer out of Allen Hancock in California.
I'm assuming now that Northeast is going to have to be pretty one-dimensional. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball very much. I'm not going to say they aren't going to run it, but 2 minutes left in the game, they're going to have to try to air it out a little bit. And I'm not sure that's really plays into their strengths. I think being multiple on offense, from what we've seen tonight, is kind of what they do best.
It's Grant Ellerick at QB. He took over a couple of drives ago for Ward and has that one too tall for his target, going for the 6'4" freshman again, who's had a nice game, Avery Payne. Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by United Healthcare, where small towns matter. Thank you to our friends at UHC, United Healthcare. Still standing on the sideline with his helmet off is Ben Ward, the junior out of Pryor, Oklahoma, that started this game and really played pretty well. It was not perfect, but 12 of 20 for 95 yards and a touchdown. On top of that, Ward ran the ball a couple of times for 18 yards.
Yeah, I thought he played pretty well overall. I mean, he made some good decisions. And
Ellerick got smoked there as he unloaded.
Yep.
Good
the thing about that too, Michael, is they've run 3 pass plays, 3 incompletions, took very little time off the clock, and now either you punt it back to UNK or you go for it on 4th down, and if you don't make the 1st down, UNK's got great field position again. So, just from a football 101 standpoint, that makes it tough.
That was really a good job by Nathan Pesic, the defensive back from Millard West, applied that lick on the quarterback. Timeout, Northeastern State will step aside also. It's 4th down and 10 with 2:15 to go when we return.
Let your next adventure take flight in Sarpy County, Nebraska for some high-flying fun. Legendary family adventures. Out-of-this-world shopping. Star-studded evenings. And award-winning experiences. Our flights are never canceled.
A 14-point lead for UNK, and the Lopers heading out to the field trying to beckon the crowd to join them. It's 4th down and 10 for Northeastern State. They must convert to have much of a chance in this game. Down 2 touchdowns. They'll do it with Grant Ellerick at quarterback. Ward comes back out.
Came back in.
We were just hypothesizing he must be hurt. That's why they aren't going with him. He looks like the more proficient passer, but here's Ben Ward out there for 4th down and 10. Sends his back up to an H-back position and gets the knee-high snap. Steps up in the pocket, delivers a good ball. Is it dropped?
First down.
Caught. He held on to it. Avery Payne, the freshman. There's really nice couple freshmen on this roster, including that 6'4" wideout. And wonder why Ward wasn't in there earlier.
Well, it makes you wonder if they're just trying to decide on who the guy's going to be.
What a grab.
Great catch.
Terrific diving catch, but really that runs the clock. It's not a huge benefit in terms of yardage, but a really good grab by Devin Blaney to get 4 yards. 4 yards doesn't do much when it runs the clock.
No.
If you're Armani Webster, the defensive back, you're fine with that completion. We go back to Webster's side, and again a completion, this time to Will Bergner, and he does step out of bounds up to the 38-yard line. So the 4th down conversion for Northeastern State keeps their hopes alive. They have a couple of timeouts left. And 1:29 on the Midway Auto Dealership scoreboard. Ward steps up in the pocket. Incomplete. I'm not sure that Bergner had stayed in bounds that whole time anyways.
No.
2nd and 10.
I'm not trying to second guess the Northeast coaches. It just appears to me that Ward seems a little more comfortable in the pocket than the Elric kid does.
Well, excellent work situationally for both sides here. They get lots of reps at specific situations in games. Can the UNK defense help to close it out? Well, that will go a long ways towards doing it. Nathan Pesic from the defensive back spot comes in delayed and square in the chest delivers a blow to the quarterback Ward. And that might be a fatal blow to Northeastern State. They burn their second time out. Let's get a look at your instant replay. This is the completion earlier. But how about Pesic? Hadn't called his name, got in late in this game for really the first time I had noticed him out there. And the Millard West product buzzing around, making plays.
Yeah. I will say this. Coach Schaffner on defense has played a lot of defensive players. And for the most part, all of them have stepped up and done a pretty good job.
You're right. We've seen a lot of guys that are not on the depth chart on the 2 deep that are getting time, and we've noticed them because they've made plays. So that shows off some depth on this unit, and I think with the speed that Coach Schaffner wants them to play, it does mean that you have to shuffle a lot of guys in, and the depth is impressed.
Yeah, very much so, especially at the linebacker position. He has played a lot of players at that linebacker spot, and a lot of them have made good plays.
The Lopers defense, big sack. And now with just one timeout remaining for the Riverhawks, they face 3rd down and 18. Down 2 touchdowns and running out of time. Ward in the pocket, throws, and Treyo Gwynn dives and hauls it in. The senior comes up with the game-sealing interception.
That should do it.
Treyo Gwynn, our key player heading into this game, taking over the mantle from Darius Swanson as the leader of the defense in the secondary, and he makes the diving grab to seal it for the Lopers.
Coach Schaffner had a speed defense in there definitely that time. He had a lot of linebacker-type bodies rushing the passer and ran a little twist game. He had Q Felton was playing inside and wrapped around outside. A lot of defensive backs, a lot of speed.
That's the second interception of Treyo Gwynn's UNK career. The former Utah, Northern Arizona, and New Mexico Military Institute player in his second season here at UNK, and he's leading the team in tackles, now has an interception to boot.
That's good to see a turnover. UNK's players, it's getting a little chippy out there. They need to show some composure and finish this game without a silly penalty or something that's going to affect not necessarily the outcome of the game, but just how it ends.
And one kneel away from putting this one away. Davis under center. Takes the knee, and actually that's Sean Johnson Jr. who does the honors, but it's TJ Davis, and Davis with the huge drive to make it a 2-touchdown lead, and then the UNK defense comes up with a big game-sealing interception, and it all adds up to the first win of the Ryan Held era. The Lopers get their home opener as a 31-17 W in a hard-fought game against Northeastern State. Ryan Held 1-0 at Foster Field, exactly where he wants to be. And we'll visit with the head coach of the Lopers when we come back to Foster Field and enter the postgame show following a UNK victory on News Channel Nebraska.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
It's your next step. to advance your knowledge, your earning potential, and your career. Where professors invest in you and your success with competitive edge skills building and immersive learning opportunities. Your graduate degree awaits at Northeastern State University.
Ashley's Labor Day sale is your last chance to save big on summer's top styles. Visit your local store to shop Labor Day hot buys, all just $5.98 each while supplies last. Shop featured finds starting at only $17 per month or $9.99.99. And with summer coming to a close, you can save up to 50% on outdoor furniture. Plus, we offer special financing options for every budget. Visit your local Ashley stores in Kearney, Grand Island, and North Platte for the best Labor Day furniture deals, only at Ashley.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Order your dream vehicle today with no money down. If you don't love it when it arrives, leave it with absolutely no obligation. We are professional grade at Central Nebraska's premier GM dealer, Midway Chevrolet, Buick GMC in Kearney, or thinkmidway.com/GM.
A new year, a fresh start, a resolution to grow more, gain more, give more.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes. The wedding bands. We'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
At Zollner Ford, come and see our great selection of new Ford vehicles. Whether you're looking to buy new or you need a car serviced, it's our pleasure to assist you. Our online website makes shopping even easier. Browse our massive inventory of vehicles or schedule your next maintenance appointment. We even offer drop-off and pickup services. Stop by today or visit us online at zollnerofbeatrice.com.
What does farming mean to you? For most, it's hard work, dedication, and livelihood. Unfortunately, that also comes with risk. At Nebraska Crop Insurance in Beatrice, they know the non-stop dedication involved to keep your family protected from that risk and ensure their livelihood. Not only do they know everything about the coverage you need, they're also farmers themselves. So protect what means the most to you with
NCN Sports is brought to you by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com and by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports for more highlights, interviews, rankings, and our full schedule.
Welcome back here to Foster Field. Michael Shively, Scott Hoffman with you. No visit with the coach today. We got to get a technical situation squared away, but we are excited. We do plan to talk to Coach after games this year, so very excited about that. Stay tuned to future post-game shows, and hopefully they'll be just as happy as this one, a 31-17 Lopers victory. Let's see how it went down with your top plays. Top plays brought to you by Currency. Does your business need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit gocurrency.com. UNK playing host to Northeastern State out of Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Both teams 0-1 to start out the season. TJ Davis wants to change that. The senior with a long run around the side, a 19-yard scramble for a touchdown, a two-play drive that went 58 yards. Northeastern State, they're not messing around, though. They're overlooked team in this MIAA, and that's Ben Ward, the quarterback, making things happen with his legs. Now keeps a play alive. Look at that heave on 3rd and long, caught by Ellerick in the end zone. Drew Ellerick with the grab. That's the first score in more than 8 quarters for Northeastern State, and it was an impressive one. TJ Davis, though, he can throw it as well. Finds Sev Foster down the seam on 3rd and long. Foster hauls in the 42-yard touchdown grab. UNK in front again. Northeastern State tries to get back at the Lopers, who are in charge 17-7 at that point, but they missed the field goal. Now TJ Davis backpedaling, trying to stay alive. Throw it away, TJ, throw it away. Throws it downfield, and it's caught. How about that effort to Trey Moore coming back to the football, and it sets up the Lopers at 1st down and goal. That's his first catch as a Loper, and how about Davis keeping it alive? Now how about he caps it off? TJ Davis with his 3rd, make that 2nd out of 3 rushing touchdowns in the game. UNK in front by a couple touchdowns, but that doesn't last forever. Handing it off on the trick play, and there's a huge gainer down the right sideline. It was complete to Devin Blaney, thrown by wide receiver Will Bergner. And the next play, Tag Campbell finds pay dirt for Northeastern State. This game started to go back and forth, and the Riverhawks were able to cut it to a 7-point game. Taking a look at the new quarterback here now, it's Grant Ellerick, and he gets a good gain down the right sideline with the pass, but it's UNK who has a tremendous drive to finish things off, an 80-yard drive, and then gets an interception on defense to seal it. A 31-17 victory for the Lopers. UNK now 1-1, Northeastern State 0-2. Not the score that many in the MIAA might have expected in this game after a 56-0 loss for Northeastern State last week. But my evaluation, Scott, is this was not UNK making mistakes to let the Riverhawks into the game. So the Riverhawks just played pretty well.
I think you're right, Michael. My take on things is that my hats are off to the Northeast Oklahoma coaches and players. I mean, they got blown out last week and did not look good on film, and they came out and hung with the UNK, and as you said, I think UNK played pretty good. They had 387 yards of total offense, good balance, 195 yards passing and 192 yards rushing, which is excellent balance, and yet Northeast was able to kind of hang in there, and they got it, like you said, down to a 7-point game and showed a lot of resiliency. So good job by them, but that last drive by UNK really showed the difference between the two football teams.
And the Lopers, they're going to take a win, whatever the score. They're going to take that W, the first win of the Ryan Held era, and it comes in the home opener. They are 1-1, and next week welcome Missouri Southern into this building, and it's going to be a tough contest from the team against the group out of Joplin, Missouri.
Without a doubt. Last year, we went down there and had to come from behind to win that football game, and even 2 years ago, they came up here, and you could just tell they were a much more physical football team. Well, last week they had a pretty good lead against Northwest Missouri, and gave it up at the end, and then this week they beat a Washburn team who's always pretty good, always a solid team. So they'll be coming here hungry, and UNK is going to have to clean some things up a little bit. You can tell that new scheme, new players, things are just trying to get better a little bit, but now they can build on this win, and should be a heck of a football game next Saturday.
Noon, we'll have coverage about 15 minutes before then. Well, they get it done today. UNK wins 31-17. Scott, thanks for joining. Can't wait to chat next week.
You bet.
The Lopers are victorious. Thanks to everyone who made this broadcast possible. The outstanding team led by Athletic Director Mark Bauer and Sports Information Director Peter Yazvac here at UNK. Thanks to Danny Alvarado, our director, for helping keep everything going today. On behalf of Scott Hoffman, I'm Michael Shively signing off from Kearney. Have a wonderful rest of your night.